Never update OBS 5 minutes before going live. I was loading it all up. I was like, yeah, these updates look dope. And they made me muted. Hello, everybody. Hello. Summer. Ailby. I don't think I recognize Ailby. Welcome. Good to have you. What up, John, Hans, SSH? I lost my voice, rip. That's true. What is up? Yes, and Summer and and also hi, Rebecca. Summer is correct. Yeah, that is a bottle episode, and that is what's going on here. Pronounced Albie. Albie. I was watching your VODs. Well, welcome. Glad to have you live. We love all of our VOD frogs, and I'm warming my hands on my little desk heater. That's the motion that I'm making. We love all the VOD frogs. Welcome. Boo Mustang? We don't like VOD frogs? Mustang, I'm pretty sure you were a VOD frog for a while. Get out of here. Like the stream. How cold is it in your house? I don't use central heating. This little thing is way less money, to run than actual fucking heat. I use the shit out of AC though. I'm just a cold weather fella. I got my thick socks on. I'm prepped. Can always put on more layers. Amazing amount of I know. Oh my goodness, thank you guys. Yeah, so takeaway from last episode. Bottle episodes are interesting. I think that they are and I will say a bottle episode has a slightly different meaning than the way that I'm using it here. It's not just a filler episode. Normally, bottle episodes are defined by the show having run out of budget. And so they're normally done on a single set. They're pretty low scripted, or the scripts aren't very complicated. Shit like that. So one of the most classic bottle episodes is called the Fly episode in Breaking Bad. Incredible. The production had totally run out of budget for that season, and they did one of the best episodes of that season. Was a bottle episode. So they can be really dope, and that's what I am really interested in. A lot of the beginning of this was already cool, but it was very plot relevant. Of the king chastising them, giving them their comeuppance. Kind of setting up the arc that we're going to follow. And now we're kind of into the bottle proper. And I'm very interested to see. Because I think that the best bottle episodes are simple, they're contained, kind of like a one-shot, but they tie out to the external plot really nicely. So I'm interested to see if it does that at all. I think that'd be dope, but... what we learned last episode, the old lady deserved it, and Max found a plot hole at the end. The old lady got what was coming to her. My favorite bottle episode is from Community, the ep where they can't find a pen and stay in the study area. Oh, yeah. That's a classic. Yeah, they can be... Bottle episodes are a really... because they are normally defined by a really tight physical area because of set restrictions normally, they more often really focus in on characterization. A lot of times we don't want to develop any relationships because that would be too plot relevant, but we'll explore pre-existing stuff. A lot of times in a show, you can be developing things, you can be moving through an arc so quickly that you don't give it any time to breathe. You don't let people just enjoy the relationships and the arcs and the setup as it currently exists. And so a bottle episode can be a really nice breather for the audience in your story to just kind of chill out and just like enjoy the characters and the relationships as they currently exist. So I'm interested to see where Matt can take this, especially with Percy, who is the main point of like emotional conflict right now. With him being gone, it sort of allows the other characters to explore their relationships without his influence on it, which is what Keyleth has already tried to do. She's already tried to like bring up their place, their morality, their goals, their drives, their ambitions. She's already like going in that direction, and I'm wondering if we're gonna see any more of that, or maybe not. You know, the thing about D&D is that unlike an episode of TV, it's not scripted. You can't force the players to role play and to hang out. So Star Trek Next Gen had a couple good ones. Just running around the RA made set of the Enterprise, no effects, just acting. Totally. Do you have a favorite character, least favorite character for CR, not including Tiberius? Right now, I would say that my favorite character is Grog. And I'm very biased, but I think that he's one of the best examples of a dumb character. I'm really impressed with the character design as a whole. When it comes to players, I think I'm most on the same page with Marisha, so I would have to go there. But I don't love Keyleth. Or I don't even not like Keyleth. She's probably just like 2 or 3. But and then least favorite is definitely Scanlan. Not including Tiberius. It's just because I can't take Scanlan seriously. And you can have comic relief. I think that Percy, very often, at least before No Mercy Percy, Percy has provided a lot of comic relief. He's been kind of, the throwing shade one-liners type of guy. But now he's a little bit less of that. But I think he was a serious comic relief character, though. The difference between Percy and Taliesin was very straightforward. I never felt like Percy was doing something that it didn't make sense, like with the pre-existing character that I knew, whereas Scanlan does that constantly. Scanlan's always pulling shit that I'm like, okay, that's not the character. That's just Sam. Oh my God, I forgot his name. That's just Sam fucking around. So yeah, that's probably the favorite, least favorite. So the entire series of Gilligan's Island is a bottle episode series since it's all on a deserted island. Sort of. Islands can be different though, because they're not all in the same set. So like Lost has bottle episodes. There's a episode of Lost, I believe, that takes place entirely in the bunker. That's a bottle episode. Just because, the fictional world is contained. Like, Gilligan's Island had multiple sets, from my understanding. I've never actually seen it, so so I can't speak too much. It's just Tiberius shopping. Tiberius shopping is my least favorite character. Shopping Tiberius is terrible. I can relate to Grog a little. I know you can, Marcus. Marcus, your barbarian was delightful. Your barbarian was very, very delightful. Megaphone Man calls for Sam Riegel to recite from CR. Jesus. That's the headline, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. That's always me. So more like 12 Angry Men. Yeah. 12 Angry Men's a great, it's a whole movie, it's a whole film, but that is very much the vibe of a bottle episode. Of like, y'all go into a room, you have talking, you have scripting, no crazy effects. Very 12 Angry Men, yeah. Would The Fly? Yes. That is, in my mind, The Fly is like the quintessential bottle episode. There's a couple of other famous ones. The Community one does come to mind. There's a really couple of famous ones from Friends. But to me, The Fly is the quintessential. Yeah. Okay. with that, I'm not going to be as tenacious, as litigious, using a lot of words, on the timer, since we are just watching, the back half. But the back half's still pretty long. It's still 2 hours. So if I completely took away the timer, there's still a chance that this goes way longer than it should. So I'm just not going to be as on the timer, but I will still use it this time. Yeah, if you can get a 1-act play out of a TV show with just one set, then you are golden. Yeah, totally. Let's see. All right, Critical Role Watch. No more the Slayer's Take. Get that Bingo Baker in here, generate that card, and we are good to go. Let's see, and we reset the OAC. Oh my gosh, I'm rocking and rolling. Mega doesn't get... That's... Hey, SSH, you can throw in some video game references sometimes. I have seen a select amount of of movies and pop culture things. Very select. Even Community, didn't finish Community. I think I got 4 seasons in, maybe. I got 2 seasons into Sunny. I got 4 seasons, I think, into Arrested Development. I finished Parks and Rec, so at least I got that one. But dude, I'm just not a finisher when it comes to TV shows and movies. It's just doesn't happen. Let's see, Baldur's Gate. Yeah, you can make Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. 2 squares of its canon. What? How does it have that? Why? What the heck? And you see now has 2 squares. What did you do, Bingo Baker? Is this... Oh, wait. This is the wrong one. Aha. That's why. That's the wrong one. I gotta go... It is 2.0 is the right one. Haha. There we go. Okay. So I think that should work. Let's have an in-depth talk about the Souls series. I'm sure I have absolutely no memory of the Souls series. I'll talk to you all day long about Elder Scrolls. I'll talk your goddamn ear off about that shit. But let's see. All right, 17. Oh wait, we've already done this. Wait, we can just pick up where we left off. Wait, the break starts there. So 145 is where we need to go.
And then after right now,
wait,
the second you see this video, you can follow the link right here. Click.
There we go. All right. 145.02. Let's do it. Let's see. Great. Let's you're not keeping the card from last session. You probably would have gotten bingo. Ooh. You're correct, Robin. You're correct. Ah, shit. I don't know. Let me see. I might be able to get back to that. Oh, wait. Aha! I think this was it. Yeah, I think this is it. So we're good. Let's go. How do you feel about Talos? I think that based on my understanding of the lore and my research, Talos was not a real person. I think that there maybe was a man, but he was not. It was not a singular person. That all of the deeds of Talos, if you look at all of the deeds of Talos that were like all attributed to the single dude, I don't think that single dude committed all of those deeds, like all of those like great things. I think that he is an amalgam of several different people from history, and they just all got kind of collated into Talos. So that's my short opinion. I got longer ones, but this is a Critical Role stream. Free bingo card has to Ashley. Yeah, it does. So we decided that if they're on the bingo card, and I would have gotten bingo if those squares had been filled in at the end, then we'll call it a half bingo. We'll call it a 0.5. Don't we meet him in Sovngarde? We might. I honestly don't remember. I've only. I'm trying to think of how many times I've been to Sovngarde. I was about to say only, but then I think it's been like 10 or 20 times. But even so, I think like maybe there was a real Talos. I just don't think that all of the things across the history of the games that were attributed to him were actually done by him. What are your thoughts on the Elder Scrolls Battle Spire? It's fucking old, and I don't think contributed significantly to the lore, so I don't care that much about it. Yeah. that is that.
Right, so as you guys have all
I will say I don't have huge opinions.
returned to the keep, you found yourselves
People are distracting me.
down to the basement area. You hear the distant hanging of metal, an occasional some sort of a squeaking metallic noise, like something is being altered, turned.
So I'll let you. I'll give you something, SSH. I think for book club at some point in the future, I am going to do Lord of Souls by Greg Keyes, the Elder Scrolls book, because I actually just think it's a dope ass book. So then we can talk all about Elder Scrolls lore then. I'll leave lore can for another time. Yeah. We'll talk about it then.
Or quenched in a water trough, like just the process of blacksmithing.
I go to the edge of the door and knock.
As you knock, and it is a metal door. It's like a boom, boom, boom. The queen kind of stops, just hangs for a second.
Percy? It's Keyleth.
Keyleth.
Not right now. Please. I'm sorry. I just need to clear my head.
Okay. We'll be here.
Good job.
A moment later, you see Percy's eyes appear at the edge of the doors.
Hi.
Just looking at them, you can see they look a little sunken, a little weary.
Did you sleep?
Not
didn't
as much
sleep.
as I'd like.
Do you need anything?
His eyes kind of look away for a second, looks back at you. I'm all right. Thank you.
We went and saw Uriel. Everyone in the city hates us. They think we're all criminals, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
We're
I have to
gonna
get back to my
fix
work.
it. Okay, yeah. Okay.
The slit shuts.
We'll see you later then.
You guys, however, walk down to the other side of the cell, and it is a the cell door has been closed. The keys for it are hanging on the nail bite. You guys have not used the cell to this point, and it is technically pristine and unused since the construction of the keep. But the keys still hang on a key ring. On the inside of it, there is no thatch. Nothing has been put in to really mark a comfortable floor. And hanging from manacles.
Oh God.
He's hanging.
Yeah, he's
We're
hanging.
the worst.
Yeah, we're those.
He was put in as a prisoner to guards who
Oh, God.
have a certain way of putting
I go
prisoners
and get the
into a
keys
cell.
and I take him down from the manacles.
What?
Okay. As she rushes into the cell, begins unlocking the manacles.
Travis.
He's unconscious at this time. Dirt streaked in his face and spatters of dried blood from the blast of the gun.
Good, got back on.
You,
I go ahead and I administer cure wounds.
I mean, the wound at this point has been cauterized.
Carterized? No, cauterized. Okay, yeah, I was like carterized. I actually think, Rebecca, that would be really. I think that's actually a really slick way to do it. If the person is actually sick IRL, just having their character be sick is kind of slick. And you could have it be something, transmissible or icky. And so, they can only talk through the door, and you have them like call in on Zoom or something. And like, they're talking through the door or whatever. And then they go away. That could be really fun.
You go up and cast heal wounds as he starts to come to consciousness, kind of in a heap on the ground.
But it also did seem like you did not want to RP for Percy.
It appears he may be healed.
Which, to be fair, I don't really. I am pretty solidly in the, like, if my players are gone, I most of the time try to get a in fiction reason for their absence. And if I cannot do that, if I cannot come up with an in fiction reason, so they are just there in the party, I try to play them as little as possible. I will play them like the minimum amount that makes sense. Because I don't want to ever step on their toes or do something that they wouldn't do just by accident. So yeah, I'd be like, go away, Caleb. Stop talking to me. Vince Carterized. This is a sports reference to a former NBA. Okay. If it's a sports reference, you feel free to explain, because I definitely don't know those. I can 100% confirm that I do not know any sports references. The one where Percy gets leprosy. How many players you get killed while having to play them? I've never killed a character in my long and industrious career, or illustrious, not industrious. In my long and illustrious career, I've never killed a player. I've gotten very close. I've told the Clavicus we would like to bargain story, so I've gotten very close then. I got very close. I think technically someone died in the finale to my first campaign, but it was like we didn't even have a session after that, so it wasn't even like they had to like get another player, like a character or something. So like that was like a death asterisk. I don't think it really counts. If you don't have to roll up another character, you know. And I've had a similar thing where someone left a campaign and we basically had like a scripted death. But yeah, I've never, for a long time, I was just not a very deadly DM. I would try to have a lot of threats, but I was not very deadly. And as I became deadlier and deadlier, like as I kind of transitioned into that more like, okay, threat's real, death is real. I think the only other time I killed a character, it was in it was like a level like 18 character, and they were revivified before the fight was over. So I think all of my player kills have big asterisks on them. So I've never done one where they had to roll up a new one. So I don't think it counts. You need to, you'll love it. Not a real deal. Look, it might happen. It legitimately, it's already, my bit D players are getting real traumatized already. We are not far in at all, and I am not pulling punches there. So I have a feeling one of them will die not too long, when DM stands for death.
Damage you may still be sustaining from that, but like the fingers are gone. This is beyond the magic of what you're capable of. Kind of comes to consciousness in the ground, dirtied, sore, just essentially kind of broken before you.
Does he look like he's been bitten at all?
You want to inspect?
Can I look at his neck? Yeah, while he's
Go make an
groggy.
investigation check.
20.
Okay. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of medicinal experience, but you just take a moment and inspect both sides of his neck, kind of tilting his head side to side as he's kind of groaning and coming to, and
Forgot.
what's going on? Looking at the sides of his neck, there does not appear to be any sign of any puncture wounds, anything that would be reminiscent of what your brother currently is healing from.
Can I do an insight check to see if he's also under a mind control spell?
At the moment, no, because he is barely coming to consciousness.
Okay.
There isn't enough of a presence at the moment to really read.
Not enough of a mind?
Not yet.
Okay.
Hey there.
Thank you, Matt. I talked about this last time of like when when you can or cannot tell something, when you can or cannot make a check. I still think that there's something to be, there's maybe an argument as to whether or not the insight check on the assume was viable, but I'm glad that he's saying that this one definitely isn't.
Welcome back.
Where am I?
You're in
you are
hell.
being held at the moment for your own safety.
Always
Where
be
is
checking.
Yeah.
How? He kind of looks at his hand.
Well, you were captured, and we're pretty sure the Briarwoods are going to be pissed as hell that you let the carriage get hit. So we're just trying to protect you, really.
Really?
Doesn't matter.
Really? Really?
Sort of. I mean, his friends all died, so he didn't.
Do we not feel like terrible people enough?
Let's not
already
have this
today?
conversation in front of the prisoner. What's
I'm
your name,
just
boy?
pointing it out.
My name is Desmond.
Desmond.
Desmond Altham. I am the son of a messenger, the courier of the Rollo family.
He's the son of a messenger. That's like even more ironic.
Do you need
All
to
right.
step outside?
No, I'm good. Continue. Son of a messenger.
Right now, everyone is at risk. The Briarwoods are bad people. You can attest to this, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Can you tell us everything you know about them?
It's not going to matter. They're going to find me. No one's supposed to get away.
Well,
Get
you
out.
did.
There's always a first time.
I don't even know where to begin. He kind of adjusts himself, sliding back, putting his wall against the back of the cell.
I reached in the bag of holding.
Putting
I pulled
his
out a look
wall
on it and I
against the
poured some
back.
ale into a cup. And I had a little bit of ale.
It's good cop.
No, it's fine. I took a little sip.
Please don't take offense if I don't trust. It's a drink from strangers who've, well, to be honest, put me in this position.
All right, I'll put it beside him. That's just for you, later, maybe.
What do you want to know?
It's
We want
gotta
to
be
know
poison.
If the Briarwoods...
Oh, vampires.
Yeah,
No,
pretty much. They're
Grog-
vampires, right? I mean, they're vampires.
Grog's not a poison type of guy. Like this fella, he doesn't poison people. That's not his
I
way.
know from the stories I've heard. And mothers would tell the kids not to wander out at night because dark things
That's
crawl
the
in the
type of
shadows.
poison.
From what I know, vampires are not supposed to go during the day, right? But I'm sure I've seen at least Lady Briarwood walk in the sun many a time.
Only Lady Briarwood?
As I recall, yes. Lord Briarwood doesn't make too many public appearances.
Oh.
Okay.
Have there been any strange goings on in their residence? Sounds that you've heard, people disappearing, boxes coming in and out?
Touches his stomach.
I cast Cure Wounds on him while he's
You
talking.
cast
Oh no, Cure Wounds, bitches! Level up!
Have I reached the keep yet, by the way?
Is that?
In my team?
How far away?
Have I reached the keep yet from there?
No, not yet. You're probably about an hour away at this point from the time you've taken to research, find this, learn the sigil of Western, and begin your trek back. Fortunately, you got what you wanted, but you're out of the picture for a little bit. He kind of flinches as you put your hand up, and as you touch him, he
I'm
kind of
already touching him.
I know, but he exhales, like, you get to him as just so he can react briefly.
Oh,
11.
John, you're probably right. I turned it down. I wanted to have the audio levels be independent of each other, but right now CR and the music share an audio level. Because I haven't bought it. I'm just streaming it off of this. Anyways, should be turned up. Exactly the stuff Taliesin loves. I agree. It's very, very nice that Percy is nice and vampiric in his hometown. It is. I said this a while ago that I feel like Percy is going to be the blood hunter, and everything I've seen has just continued to reassert that I think he will end up being the one that they make blood hunter for. I've not seen anything to suggest otherwise.
Oh wait, plus my... Do I add anything to that?
I
wisdom
believe you had your
modifier?
wisdom modifier to that.
14.
Okay. He goes, look, my father worked for the Rollo family before the Briarwoods came. My father vanished the night of their fall. My mother was taken to madness and lost to the night this past year. I was left alone. However, I knew the roads well between here and Whitestone, places between growing up, travelling with my father. So I was made to be a coachman for the new nobles. I was paid, albeit little, and I was left alone. Now, when I say the new nobles, there were nobles that lived in Whitestone that worked along with the Rollos, and they They helped oversee parts of the town and the business and the people, and they've been there for many generations of their respective families, all under the Duolo's guidance. But the night the castle fell, those nobles were dragged out. It's strange. I mean, after the brutality of that first night, it took days before the people of Whitestone knew what had happened. And we saw the fires, we heard the battles, but no word of the victors until 3 days had passed. We were too scared to approach. By then, the Brierwoods called a town meeting. They explained their new rule over the town. A number objected, which is expected. Many strong-willed folk in Whitestone those days. And they were subsequently shot down at Arrow Point. The rest were quiet. They then dragged out the noble families and executed them, gifting their property and titles to the various cutthroats and mercenaries they had hired, brought across the channel to help them take the town. And not just 2 people. They've used a lot of money and influence from wherever they came from, and brought with them a whole slew of very dastardly and immoral folk, who have since been given the titles that was once held by the other nobles of Whitestone, living in their homes, taking their tithes and most of the profits made from the businesses they've now forced us to continue to run from within the city. A number of families fled into the woods the night after the executions, using the shadows of a moonless evening to keep safe. And they were all found hanging from the sun tree the next morning. They kept things going as they were, mostly farming, logging, manning the white marble mines. The business went as usual, all filling the pockets of the new nobles in the Briarwoods, and we were given food, kept our immediate property, and as long as we didn't attempt to leave, we were promised safety. That lasted for a few years, until the nobles grew bored, or twitchy. They began to abuse the people of Whitestone, scare us for fun, brand, cut, steal the children, leave them back, destroyed. They treat us like animals. Folks went missing. I was beaten so bad by my employer, Count Tyleri. But Lord Briarwood noticed one night he was passing through the city. He saw wounds on my back when he was meeting with Count Tyleri. When he asked me in private how I got them, I couldn't lie. Couldn't resist him. He has a way of just drawing the truth out of you. And he told me this unrefined violence was boorish to him and his wife, and it was the last I ever saw of Lord Tyleri. Lord and Lady Briarwood took me in as their own driver and showed me Tyleri hanging from that same sun tree the next morning. I was thankful then. In a strange way, life had been so terrible for so long. It was the first time I saw someone reach out and save me. They took me in as the driver after that. It was a better thing to be away from the anger and the fists of the thugs. The more I got to know the Briarwoods, the more nightmarish I realised they were. Behind the walls of that castle was no longer a grand fortress that we heard was. Seeing it, keeping watch and guard over a people, no, that was a domain of perverse magics and sacrilege it was. The green fog drifting out from the ground where it stood. The same servants still run the halls, but they aren't living. They walk in vessels of undeath, their flesh slowly tearing away. The garden in back lies shriveled, a foul green mist forever pouring out. They're excavating something in the dungeon, plundering pieces. All their attention seems to be down there. I don't know why. I do not wander too far down. They bring up old things, ancient things, relics, books, bones. You live in that world long enough, you believe there is no way out. Death would be easy. I've seen that death has no real end there. And it's just the beginning of a whole new terrible existence. Our worst fate.
Okay, so few things. I have a curious and inquisitive look. Few things. So I'm thinking about my predictions about this arc, and I think all of that still goes back to what I thought about, like, the Briarwoods are going to be the mid-season boss. Like, exposition. Like, the Briarwoods are going to be the mid-season boss. I don't know exactly what episode, but it's going to be the middle. And then we're going to go to Wildmount, where we are going to investigate and find and root out the real boss. Alternatively, the back half could also be exploring this dungeon because it sounds like underneath Brightstone or Whitestone is like a complex with like artifacts and shit. So that's interesting. It also very much sounds like Brightstone itself is going to be kind of a layered dungeon. There's the back with the green smoke. There's all the undead people wandering the halls. Lots of great battles. Very nice dungeon crawl to get to the final area. So I think that all of that is solid. It was a good info drop overall. I think it was. It is very. I go back and forth on that on that info drop of like, I think that it seems like a good opportunity to drop all of this information. But at the same time, I don't know that I'm wholly convinced that this kid would just fucking blabbermouth that that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was really hesitant, which I guess he thinks that he's already dead, like no one escapes, like he said. So I guess why not tell them everything? Like, I suppose it doesn't really matter, but I am interested to see how this will interact with the whole legal system. Because it's like, okay, you know, Vax is offering to peer into his mind. This kid's offering to tell the whole story, peer into his mind. Like, I am nervous about this kid's significance. Or maybe he will be able to be the evidence that they need. Maybe. I sort of doubt it, but we'll see. Mega is backtracking and hedging his prediction bet. I am hedging a little bit. The dungeon was very interesting. And I'm wondering if they just meant like dungeon generally. Like, I'm really wondering if there's like an actual like cave complex or something underneath Brightstone or Whitestone. Shit. Keep switching them. Or if that was like figurative and like maybe the Derolos just hid a bunch of shit in their like prison dungeon. That was a very odd detail to me that I would not have expected. So that's the only reason that I'm hedging. I still think it makes sense, especially with all the talk of the mercenaries and these other nobles. I'm sure that these are all Wildmount folk. And I feel like we're going to find that out. And that the genesis of this quest lies somewhere in Wildmount, kind of regardless of the dungeon. What do you mean by season? I meant arc. Not necessarily season. So the blue background segments. Blue background goes until 41. So at first I don't feel like the dungeon's going to be that big. I don't think it'll be that big. I think they might spend a bit more time in Whitestone than I was initially anticipating, but I think that this arc still ends in Wildmount. I think I'm still solid on that. You don't have to worry about being politically correct. You can say Whitestone. I don't know why I keep thinking Brightstone. Brightstone just sounds more right to my brain. It's a castle with a dungeon. Yeah, but they're pulling artifacts out of it? That's what rings weird to me. It sounds like an excavation project, like a dig site, right? And is that like maybe the whole like reasoning for the Briarwoods taking over in the first place? Like, my thought was just that they were trying to gain influence on Taldore, maybe, you know, drive a coup, that sort of shit. But it's possible, I guess, that I kind of thought that Whitestone itself was incidental. But I could see Matt potentially revealing over the next couple episodes that Whitestone itself is significant in some way. And that they don't actually care about Tal'Dorei. They're just kind of chilling until they find whatever's in Whitestone. I don't know. The dungeon really trips me out. I can't quite tell how it fits into things. They're trying to find the Ark of the Covenant, yeah. Lamau, I thought for a second you meant the entire back half of the campaign. Yeah, the next 80 episodes are all gonna be just one big mega dungeon. It's all the rest of the campaign.
If we keep you here, protected, would you be willing to tell your story to someone else?
Would he?
Who would you want me to tell it to?
The
Emperor? The guards here? An army that could go and fight the Briarwoods?
Maybe.
Also, is the ruler of Amon an emperor? That sounds grandiose for what we've seen from him. Because an emperor traditionally has, like, kings under them, and then kings have, all of their shit below them. I don't know that there's that much of Tal'Dorei to, like, warrant having an emperor. I don't even know if he controls. Does the dude in Amon have... Does he control even Craghammer? It doesn't feel like he does. I don't know. You thought the Underdark was long wait for the back half as we dungeon crawl underneath Whitestone. It's all just one big Underdark. King with council, but VM keeps referring to him as if they don't really know what he is. Sovereign is the term. I see. Okay, so it's more just Vox Machina fucking up the terminology. Fair enough. He does lead some smaller independent political entities. Interesting. We'll have to see. Emperors in history don't always mean that. For example, the British Empire was under one king. That's fair. So was the king also the emperor by that coinage? And were there no other kings underneath? Like, were there no, like, kings of Scotland? I don't know anything about British history. I actually don't know the borders of the Iman country. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, that's one of the things that I was thinking when I looked at the map. I thought it was very interesting that the map did not show political boundaries, which is a very distinct choice within, like, when you're making a map, because it just says the Tal'Dorei Republic. Also Republic? Probably. I mean, no, I guess republics could have emperors, I think. Yeah, it's really interesting. They list the Kryn dynasty, the Dwendalian Empire, the Clovis Concord. Like, they list the Iron Authority. Interesting. Like, they list some of these, but they don't actually put any boundaries, which I think is really smart for the time frame that Matt seems to be going after. Like, national boundaries were not that much of a thing until pretty recent history. They were very loose and hazily managed and enforced. So I think for the type of tone that Matt's going for, having those hazily defined borders is a good thing. It's more about, like, which, like, cities you control, not exact lines in the sand, Amon being the city, Tal'Dorei is the continent. Amon is kind of the capital. The sovereign is named... Wait, the sovereign is named Tal'Dorei? So the emperor king, the dude that they were talking to in the palace earlier, his name is Tal'Dorei? That's crazy. The map might not be correct. Yeah, fair enough. He is emperor of Tal'Dorei, referred to as sovereign. His name is Uriel Tal'Dorei III. Damn, he got a whole continent named after him. That's a little much. Some cities in Tal'Dorei are independent. Critical Role stats tweeted they're closing down. Oh no, that sucks. I wonder if it's like server costs. Interesting. Craghammer is self-governed. Uriel controls roughly 12-ish cities. Interesting. Whitestone is independent. I think they rule most of Tal'Dorei. Interesting. I like that. That is very that feels like a very reasonable setup, having these like independent city states where, you know, maybe there's one I won't call them a warmonger, but you know, there's one person who has taken it upon themselves to conquer others, and some people have held out. Craghammer's held out, Whitestone holds out, and they're in extreme conditions. Like, the holdouts, Whitestone is like way up in like the mountains. It's very cut off. It'd be very hard to march a whole ass army up to here. Craghammer's inside of a fucking mountain. The whole southern tip, like the Iron Authority or whatever, like, you know, fucking mountains, giant forest. No, sorry, not even forest, jungles. And then you have, you know, your mountains. I mean, it would be nigh impossible for this to even get conquered in the first place. So this feels really really interesting. I like the setup so far. It feels nice.
This could be an option to save Whitestone. And you would have your freedom.
I don't know. No, you don't know what's done. You don't know what they've done. They're gonna find me.
Oh Jesus. Long ago, a war hero got the continent named after herself after a key battle. I see. I bet the dwarves have a different name for it in Craghammer. Nations are more significant in other campaigns. Yeah, fair enough. I don't think Matt had developed the politics as much as in campaign 1. I mean, I'll say, like, the politics don't feel... I mean, these continents are very, very small. I'll say that, first of all. These continents are very small. So I think that, just look at this. Craghammer is, what did we establish? A 3-day horse ride is Iman to Craghammer. I mean, this continent's tiny. So I think for this size of continent, this political setup makes a lot of intuitive sense to me, at least. And I think that's, you know, really all that politics need to do in TTRPGs is they just need to make intuitive sense and provide an interesting backdrop for the action. I was debating if world history was a spoiler or not. Oh, yeah. That's fair. Because I guess like Calamity is kind of a spoiler. I think we've been fine so far, but I appreciate you thinking about it. There's a web map with measurements. I'll have to take a look at that later. How much we visit other continents, we should remain mum on to allow Mega to speculate freely. Yeah. Fair enough.
And we can protect you. We are safe here in this keep, and you're surrounded by very powerful people, allies now.
We've stood before them and we did not fall.
It's true.
We think about it.
Would you like to stay in the guest room upstairs?
That's okay.
Be more comfortable. You could get a good night's rest.
Far more comfortable. A little less safe. I'm gonna put it out there.
That resonates with him immediately, and his eyes flash open. I mean, no disrespect, but if this is safe, I'd rather stay here.
I think it is. And we will bring a bed down to you, make sure you're comfortable. I don't want you sleeping on the floor. That's terrible.
You're all being very accommodating.
You'll get every consideration for protection. We value your info very much.
You're also kind of the key to our own freedom, so it's
Oh
kind of
my
important.
god.
You also caught us on a day where we're trying to be nicer to people. Lucky for you.
Just be glad you're not an old woman.
Stay here for now.
Alright.
I need to think on it. I've been promised such protection before.
From the Briarwoods.
From a few. And that's it. An enemy of an enemy doesn't necessarily make them a friend of discovered.
No, but it can make them allies if they have mutual enemies.
of their enemies.
Of their enemies.
You see,
It's a little complicated.
this whole conversation, the emotional recalling of everything you can see has been very taxing on him, and he's kind of still partially, mostly conscious state. He looks exhausted, scared, and still trying to kind of suss out all the information coming at him right now.
Totally.
Brog, why don't you carry the bed down from upstairs?
Exactly what I was going to
Not a problem. Keep the goblet nearby. It is very nice ale.
Would you like something to eat?
Yes, please.
Have our staff bring down some food.
He kind of takes the goblet and kind of holds it. He looks at it and smells it, but still just kind of holds it at bay as you walk off. You eventually go, easy enough for you. Take the bed. You have to kind of like turn to the side to take it out, which causes all the cushions to fall out, and you're like,
Oh, shit! How do I grab a little pillow with my toes? Pop it down.
Takes roughly about 20 minutes and 3 trips, but you manage to get the bed down there from the guest room.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
It's one of those things when you fit it in the cell, and it's not a large cell. It's maybe 10 by 10 feet maximum.
Okay, give some time to eat.
You place it there. And as you guys walk back, you notice as you see Grog walking back down the stairway, right around the corner, because as you go down the steps, the hallway goes in the cell, and it goes down, turns to the right, and then left into the workshop. You see around the corner a shoulder, listening in. There's a person, and you recognize that it is Percy. Percy has stepped out of the workshop and apparently has been hearing everything this entire time.
Are you alright?
I'm fine. And Percy immediately steps away, and you hear the door.
Percy, wait!
Give him time.
So moody. Sweet. Is there a lock on the...
So yeah, I'm gonna lock it. I'm just gonna lock your door to make sure you're safe. Make sure nobody can get in.
in case the Briarwoods gave your brain a tickle.
Him away from me.
Right.
Who is that?
He's a friend. I know it doesn't seem like it from the condition of your paw, but he's a friend. He's just, he's in the same boat as you, trying to stay safe from danger.
We assure you.
Briarwoods destroyed his family as well.
You see now there's like this look of tension on his face that's kind of makes him like tired and kind of like eventually finding the bed and takes the goblet. You still feel it's not drunk from it, just kind of slips it next to the side of the bed. Eventually food is brought down.
And a chamber pot, because come on.
Yeah.
Because come on.
We're civilized.
All the basic pleasantries were brought within the cell.
Okay, good.
Kind of lies in the bed and the plate takes the plate up with him and starts just scarfing some of the bread rolls down and immediately starts going for the mashed potatoes. And it's just like you can see a decent meal hasn't had in quite a while, especially the journey. What is essentially a 7-8 day journey from Lightstone probably was not been very kind to him. Eats and then promptly passes out on the bed. Like food still kind of mashed on the side of the face, just goes straight into a slumber.
Is there any entrance to the cell area besides the door? No, like barred windows or anything like that?
No, it goes underground. It's all solid stone walls, and there is the barred front door, and then just goes right into the hallway that goes up the stairs to your left and across the way and around the corner to the
You
workshop.
can't catch it, kind of.
Yeah, like a barrier maybe, so that Percy can't get anything through there.
Let me
Or go
reference
in.
my
I think
spell
we should let
tome.
Percy
It's
go
not
in.
a
That's what I
common
mean,
one.
yeah.
It's not, it's kind of situational, but let me check real quick. I haven't read that chapter.
You just shit on the floor and...
Is the Lures on the way back from where Lyceum?
I'll sleep in the room.
Is the Lures on the way back from the Lyceum?
There's that.
No, the Lyceum is in the Erudite District. Alora's Tower is in the Cloudtop, which is the central part of Vermont.
Okay.
Do you want to go check out that bird creature at the farmhouse?
So I was watching Super Geek Mike's videos, his demystified videos, and something that he pointed out. I'm not watching at all ahead, and I kind of asked him. I was like, how's the spoiler situation? Because we were emailing, and I was like, how's the spoiler situation? And he's like, oh no, I know that people watch the demystified videos at the same time as they're, kind of watching through the campaign. So I keep it spoiler light. And so I was watching through it, and he pointed out something that I had never grasped onto, but that is so relevant in the very first episode, that this table just loves directions. They love knowing where shit is. They want to narrate the walk there and back. They do not like the, just to save time or just to be brief. They don't want Matt to abstract it. They want to walk everywhere. And make sure that, it all makes sense in their head. And I don't know, I didn't really realize it until now, and then I just saw Tiberius do it. Oh, am I on the way back with her because of X, Y, and Z? And Matt gives him oh no, it's her place is in this district and you're in this district. And it's it's so funny because at my table, I would never do that. I would just be oh yeah, you're on the way back with her. Whatever. The geography really doesn't matter. If you want to be on the way back with her, you are. But I think that Super Geek Mike rightly pointed out, and this comes to knowing your players. It is pretty clear that these players, like, that is part of it for them. That is like part of their immersion is like knowing like where things are, what things are on the way to other things, like, and narrating that and not montaging it, not abstracting it as much as possible, like just like killing time some nights, like just like wasting time and just being like, oh, like I just go and like fuck around for a little bit. That is like important for their immersion. And I think that identifying those things about your players is really important, because normally I would just like recommend to like players or DMs just be like, yeah, like abstract most of that away. Like don't talk about the boring shit. But for these players, for this table, like sometimes the boring shit is like what gets them into the scene. Like talking to Allura on the way home would have been great. It would have probably pushed the relationship forward. It would have pushed the plot forward. But it is important to Orion that it makes sense. that it is casual and it makes sense within like the layout of the city in the fiction. That's important to his gameplay. And that seems to go for all of the players. And I think that identifying those things, like identifying what is important to your players, what is important towards investing them in the scene, is something to like really actively and consciously try to dissect at your tables. Of like, what do my players like? What do they not like? Obviously, Travis doesn't like shopping. Like everyone has picked up on that by now. So whenever Travis goes to the shops, Matt should not offer him the same things in the same way that he offers it to everyone else. He should be like, there's this one thing that you might want. Because Grog doesn't want to shop. He wants to say yes or no. And he wants to move the fuck on. And like identifying those things is really important towards having like a really cohesive game where everyone is invested. Screw brevity, we're in for the long haul. I mean, for them, that's the fun, and that's dope. That's cool. They're voice actors that also do mocap, so they play in theater of the mind a lot. Yeah, and I think one of the things that Super Geek Mike said was a lot of them come from video games, right? They don't have a lot of TTRPG experience, and video games rarely have montages. You know, if they do, it's during like big dramatic sequences. You're not going to have a random montage or a random, 2 miles later normally in a video game. Or at least if you do, you're not going to have them very often. So it doesn't feel right to them. They feel like they need to walk through the city. They can't just teleport from A to B. So I think that's interesting. I think it's good to know. They don't realize how hard they make it for Matt. It is definitely a very different type of DMing, and it's something that is good to know for your prep as a DM, that like they're going to expect these sorts of things. Like they're immediately going, like every time they get to a new city, Tiberius is going to ask for a magic shop. Percy's going to ask for a blacksmith. Grog is going to ask for a fighting pit. Like having those things there and trying to work them into the main plot is important. Geography doesn't matter. You know it. For my table, some players really like that sort of element, whereas for some, it doesn't. So I try to give it most of the time, but not spend too much time on it. And I think that focusing, like in knowing like where to target your stuff. So if you know that there are maybe half of your players aren't really into, the narration as you walk. They don't care about the route between the castle and the mine. They just want to get there. Like, let that happen. Do the whole narration. Honestly, let it be boring for them. That's okay. Like, we're not trying to please everyone constantly. But then once they get to the mine, try to target the things that the other people like. So like they didn't get their montage, so now they get, Or sorry, yeah, they didn't get their montage, so now they get something that speaks very much to them when you get to the mine. Or vice versa. If you do abstract it, and that's maybe frustrating to some of the people who don't want it abstracted, try to provide something very targeted to them at the destination to kind of get them back into the scene. It's always going to be a push and pull, but being very actively aware of it can help manage it a lot. Does this mean you've watched all of his Demystified? No, I'm on, I think 3 or 4. I'm gonna be casually watching them over the next few weeks. But I also gotta read for book club. So yeah, I do plan on watching them all though. Or at least I plan on watching them up to whatever point I'm at. And in video games like Skyrim, you have a mini map. Yeah, totally. So it's like with them having all of that experience, like they still want to know that. They want to map out fucking Whiterun in their head. They want to know how to get everywhere without having to ask the DM. And they want to know what to expect on the way. I mean, it's a very valid form of play that my table doesn't really do. Like, we definitely do it more than I think maybe the average, but we definitely do it less than Vox Machina. And I don't know. I definitely get it, but it's very good to be aware of one way or the other. To repeat myself again. When Matt starts handing out maps, they go insane. They go nuts, which is why I've talked about how, like, I think that Matt should give them more vague maps, like more like crudely drawn maps that are just like general representations, because I think they would eat that shit up. That's how I mostly take care of it for my players, is I just do really rough sketches. They fucking love it. So I don't know. Yeah, I find it surprising that he hands out, honestly, as few maps as he does. Whiterun, they're going to find Nazim. You know it. Do you get to the Cloudtop District very often? Least fit. Well, yeah, obviously. I'm psyched you're watching them. Yeah, it's gonna be a good ride. I'm excited too. He's already like, I had to hold myself back from putting like 5 comments in because I was like, you're not on stream. You're not on stream. Don't just say everything that comes to your head in the comments. But yeah.
Tonight.
Yes. Well, we've stationed a guard down there?
We should.
can,
We have
yes.
5 or 6.
All right, I'll go talk to Cordell.
What am I saying? Of course you don't. Is Cloudtop in this, right? I think it's Cloudtop in this as well. Was Skyrim out? What year is this? And now I'm like, 7 years ago. Oh, fucking Skyrim's been out for 4 years. Skyrim's already probably been remastered twice by this point. Matt just straight up stealing from Skyrim. 2011. Oh yeah, it was on 11/11/11. How could you forget?
No.
God, that Skyrim trailer went so fucking hard when they first revealed the 11/11/11. Oh God.
Not Cordell. Let's get somebody else.
Get the crossbow guy that we like so much.
Yeah.
The guy that's the captain of the guards.
Is that Kendrick or Shay Trent? Oh, the girl?
No, the guy. He's awesome and he's an archer as well.
Jarrett?
Jarrett. That's it.
All right, we'll get Jarrett. Oh, Jarrett!
Make your way to the back part of the wall, and there's a small tower that's constructed as part of the back wall. That's where Jarrett usually keeps watch. Jarrett has kind of the in-between shift between the guards, so he can be present for both sides and kind of keep watch during the afternoon to the nighttime, probably about midnight or so. So as you make your way out of the keep, Darius, are you heading back to the keep, or are you heading towards the Cloudtop District? This will dictate whether or not you show up around this time. So
I will say, and I think this is dope. Like, this is Matt knowing his players, knowing that like that timing and that feeling of realism is important. Like, if we're at like, say, a Blades in the Dark table, Blades in the Dark constantly tells you, hey, fucking abstract it, skip it. Like, it yells at you in the rule book. Do not do the boring things. Never have them walk across town unless they're getting like ambushed or something. But I think that they love this sort of shit of like, where, like, how are you navigating? It'll determine if you show up on time. Like, that is very much their cup of tea. So I think that this is very exemplary of Matt knowing his players very well. Also, Cloudtop is a dope name for a district, so I don't blame him.
I'm going to Lures.
Very
I'm
thematic.
staying down in the prison just for the time being. I don't want to leave him alone with Percy.
All right. So you go to find Jarrett, who's up in the top of the tower, and as you call to him, Jarrett leans over, and you see him, short, jet black hair, darker complexion, very, very handsome, younger, kind of early 20s guy, well dressed over his stud leather armor that he wears underneath, and has the crossbow on the side. He leans over.
Well,
Skyland, it's been some time. It is so good to hear from you. What can I be of service for?
We need you to watch prisoner for us downstairs in our jail cell, which we had built and are now using. But you'll be guarding the prisoner to make sure he doesn't escape, but also making sure he stays safe. He possesses information that's very valuable to us, and one of the people who hires you might try to kill him. So if Percy tries to go in there, can you stop him without hurting either party?
I imagine this would be very well suited for my skill set.
Oh.
It will be strange to keep watch against one of my employers, but he's been a bit sheepish around me anyway.
You think you can take Percy?
Well, I think at least I can talk some sense into him.
I like it.
Wow.
He's a badass, this guy.
Ballsy.
That's awesome.
Just out of curiosity, if he was running at you, what would you do?
Well, first and foremost, I would dive in the forward motion, leg out, to put him off balance. This is beat from a frontal melee. You're messing with me, aren't you?
A little bit.
Gnomes.
Do you need anything to help? I can leave you.
I have access to my own private armory, and I have utmost faith.
All right. Well, keep him safe, and there's an extra 5 gold in it for you.
pathetic.
That's 10 gold.
Gnomes.
I don't know how money works. Well, I'll talk to Max about it.
Certainly. All right, I will do this. And he stands up and goes and starts gathering his general set of supplies inside the guard tower. As you walk back to the keep, you hear him whistle and start calling out to Shane to go ahead and take over in the tower. So,
I wasn't there for any of that. I was upstairs on the roof, just
looking over.
just thinking.
Tiberius,
Yes.
you make your way into Cloudtop District. As you come to the front gates of the district, the guards that normally recognize you and welcome you in recognize you and stand firm, weapons to the ready.
At Allura's Tower.
At the Cloudtop District entirely. You guys had to get written permission to enter there when you first came to Amon anyway, since that's where the nobility and many of the important figures of Amon reside. It appears that since you've been taken out of the council and you're under investigation, your access to such a sensitive location within Amon has been temporarily revoked, and the guards are not letting you through.
Damn it.
Oh no.
There's not. Well, is that it? So I just turn around, go back.
It's up to you.
Oh.
The guards are just there, standing.
Burn them all alive.
Okay. Right. I cast.
That's a good moment. That's a really good moment. I have been known, and I mean, I'm going to say so much shit on here that you will be able to find contradictory clips, but it all depends on the context, the message I'm trying to get across. I have been critical of Matt for not essentially helping his players enough, like giving them maybe too loose of a grip. Especially when it comes to remembering things. That's the majority of what I've had an actual problem with. But this, I love. This reminds me of when Tiberius went to House Thunderbrand in the very first episode, and Matt was just like, oh, it's a fucking invisible wall. Do whatever you want. Like, like go nuts, bro. Oh, wait, I thought the timer started. There we go. Like go nuts. Do whatever you want. And I love this. Like, Orion is like, is that it? Should I just turn around? And Matt's like, you can do whatever, like reinforcing that player agency that like you have the option to go and talk to them. You are a sorcerer. You have invisibility. You probably have some enchantment spells at your disposal. Obviously that could fuck with shit, but like that player agency is super duper important. And I think that that's like where this comes down to, of like, when should a DM help? When should a DM stay silent? When it should be in pursuit of maximizing player investment within their character. And I think one of the reasons that I have been really critical of like Matt not reminding them of something that I feel like their character would remember is that it draws a big disconnect between their player and the character. Right there, it actively de-invests them when they have to look through their notes to sync themselves back up with their character. But this is the opposite. This is Orion is desyncing himself. He's saying like, okay, this situation that Tiberius is in, I should probably just head out. There's probably nothing to do here, right? And Matt's like, I don't know. What do? You are Tibbs. Do something. And like he gave them the reminder. He did exactly what I like would have wanted him to do. Like I think it would have been a little bad if he had just been like, yeah, you don't know why they're guarding the way. Unless you wrote it down, unless you like piece it together. I think that would have been kind of shitty. But he reminds them like, oh yeah, you guys had to get like written permission here. That's something that Tiberius would remember that you might not, Orion. Because it was probably like a year and a half ago, IRL time. And then he says, then he lets him loose again. He says, what do you do? It's up to you. So I really like that. Tim flirting with Allura is always weird because I know Matt said he felt most like Allura. Oh, really? I don't know. I've not flirting has not been a significant part of my games. It's happened occasionally, but just not something that is super high on the priority list for me or my players. Jared is officially joining VM. Dude, I should run a one shot that is Jarrett, Keenan, Gilmore, Victor, and Allura and Kima. Just like all people playing those characters. Can we please let him watch the Simmel Scry moment, even though it's a C3 moment? Oh. Probably not. Probably not. We'll get there. I've got plenty of shit to talk about. And when we get there, it'll be all the sweeter. This area of the map is now closed off to you video game style, a big red bar on his map section. Yeah. You don't want that. That should never be the case in D&D, and I like that. I like that there is no invisible wall. It can seem like that to a person, right? Like I like that he makes it seem like that to the character, but the character can always get around it. Like, I think you have to remind players of that sometimes, is that even if to the character it seems like a video game invisible wall, it's not. You can try to get around it if you would like. Like, it sort of is that, but this is D&D. Try to get around it. Go ahead, Tibbs, scroll them like you did the older woman. I mean, it's an option. Sleep, kill, loot, step 4, profit. Yes, sir. Dude, you don't get caught. Allura is kind of Matt's avatar. Interesting. You don't kill or flirt with your players? I know. What do we even do? It's insane. How do we even play the game? He'll see it in 5 years. Yeah, true. I'll see it someday. No, hopefully I'm full time at some point and I can just stream every single night. Wouldn't that be a lark? Trying to spoil the table set layout surprises. Oh yeah, that's also a thing. I'm a smoker. I may not have 5 years. Yeah, probably not, dude. Smoking is bad, everybody. Don't do it. But I'm sure all smokers know that, so it's not like this is a PSA. I think everyone knows. Every time I watch campaign 1, I realize just how much everyone has come on as players DM. Yeah, totally. I mean, your style updates, your abilities update, your knowledge of the game updates. Like at this point, they still are not fully confident with the rules of 5e, and that makes it hard to be maybe confident about some of their crazier, schemes and shit. So yeah, I think I can see them coming very far. Unless it's that weed, then blunt up everything. I mean, if it's legal, I will say for legal purposes, or blaze up, not blunt up. Yeah, if you are of age and it is legal, for legal reasons.
Greetings and salutations. I'm Tiberius Stormwind from Draconia.
I assumed SSH. I'm just saying. I can see them coming very far. I mean. Also tips from Draconia. You're so right.
Over a member of Vox Machina over at Grayskull Keep. It seems that you all are posturing and whatnot.
I will also say it's I'm being weird and cagey about it because it's also legal where I live in Illinois. But it is not cool with my job. So, employer, if you're watching this, I don't support it. No. I'm in South Carolina, still go to jail for free here. Ooh boy, nice little stay in the complex for you.
It's adorable. But I'm here to see Lady Allura. Could you let her know that I would like to speak to her, or get out of my way so I can just go over there and tell her myself?
We have direct orders to not let you or any other member of Vox Machina into the Cloudtop District until your investigation is complete. So, no, and no.
Well, do the second thing. Like, if you don't do one thing, do one of the other things.
Your information and wish has been processed, taken into consideration. Thank you very much. Please be on your way.
It has been processed. Oh, that's good to know. I appreciate that. Very well. I cast Fly myself and I go back to Keep.
Okay. They both did not expect that exit.
Oh, well, I can about to say that every time.
You just essentially like Superman. You're like, little cloud of smoke in the shape of a dragonborn left behind. All right, so as you cruise over, you see in the distance from where you're standing at the top of the keep, you see the distant bead of dark shadow that approaches and grows larger, and is a air cruising Tiberius making his way towards the keep.
I kind of hide behind. I don't want to get hit, so I'm going to just crouch down a little bit carefully behind one of the pieces of wall.
Okay. Tiberius makes
rough landings sometimes.
We'll land inside.
Land into the Vox Machina. No, jeez.
Easy. Be careful.
Sorry. Hi. What are you doing? Are you thinking?
I hope you're thinking.
Well, I suppose I was. Yeah, the others are downstairs interrogating that boy.
Oh.
Where have you been?
Off doing things that wasn't really that productive overall. But they don't like me anywhere, especially now.
Do you want to have a drink?
Yes, actually I do. I would.
Flask. You normally drink water. You want a shot, though?
Oh no, yes, I would love some alcohol. This calls for alcohol.
I pull out my flask and am amazed because I've never seen this, and I hand it over to him.
Oh yes.
Did you eat the flask?
No, it's fire breath.
Oh, okay. Do you want to pass that bad boy back?
It's empty.
Oh, it's empty. Well,
Dragonborn does not know how to drink.
I guess it was worth it.
What? What are you talking about? Don't you tell me how to drink. Oh, you.
I'll come out from the castle into the
Hello.
beyond. Hey, I feel like chicken tonight. Can we go hunt this big bird?
Tiberius, I just got him drunk.
Really?
Yeah.
He gave me a shot of his flash water, and it's so good.
Are you sure you didn't hit him with the blunt side of your
No,
knife?
no,
He
good.
just took a shot of the old firewall.
I don't drink very often, but I can't. The Lord doesn't like me anymore because I killed that bitch who tried to kill us, and now she's fucking everybody. Nobody likes us.
Oh boy.
It's fine, Keyleth. I think
Oh
she's...
boy. Yeah, smart. Keyleth,
You are so funny. I love your jokes.
What?
Dibs got turned up. Will you fix it?
How?
You, in fact, give me your highness.
What did you do?
Oh,
Why are you touching me?
I love protecting you. It is unlucky he loves you.
Don't
so.
touch me right now. I'm
He
not
did a little,
supposed to
you
touch
know.
me.
See, I'm telling you, nobody likes me. I don't know
I
what's
gave him
going
his
on.
first drinky. I'm sorry. Could you pull him out of it?
Is it?
What?
I thought he was going to say no. He didn't leave me any.
He's good. I'm good. Hi. How are you? I'm Tiberius. It's time to drink. You are Princess Pretty Face. He likes you.
Vax just walks away off the roof, out of here. I'm gone.
Grog is riveted.
Human kissy mouth.
Bax walks away. That yeah. That man, it's so yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't even annoyance is thankfully a very is yeah, I was about to say annoyance isn't quite the right word. Like I'm not annoyed at Orion right now, but ooh boy, I'm cringing. Tibbs outing Vax like it's Pride Month. What? I don't even get what you're going for there, Robin. Did he say that? I don't even know. Yeah. I'm gonna give him like 3 on the OAC, but like it's not even annoying. It's just like ooh, ee. He said to Keyleth he likes you, BTW. Oh, I missed that. I was fucking cringing too hard.
Yeah, I'm gone. Baxter.
Princess, pretty face. He likes you too.
Oh, that's why I didn't get it, because I had trouble. I just saw the finger go up, and I thought he was pointing to Scanlan, and so then I was like, Vax, what? And I also didn't get why Vax walked away. This all makes a lot more sense. Maybe it's just in character, but it doesn't seem like it's just in character for Marisha. I think that's like... I don't know. This is... You need to add 8 to the counter. I already. Oh, I guess. Yeah. I'll add 8 to the counter for this episode because it is still this episode, but I reset it. Damn. The one time I remembered to reset it, motherfucker. Because it is still this episode. Look at Matt's face when Orion touches his wife's nose. Yeah, I mean, it's hard because they are like a touchy group. Like, I've seen them all touch each other, like, very affectionately, but this, I think it feels, I think I've gotten it. I think I've lasered in on the reason that it feels so bad is because he starts it off just being like, nobody likes me anymore. And it feels a little too meta. So then everything else has this weird, like, meta tint on it. And, like, suddenly, like, I don't know. It just feels really uncomfy. Like, I've had players play drunk before and, like, do things that, you know, it doesn't feel like their character would have done sober, but, like, maybe it's reasonable, but like him getting like weirdly lovey and like being like like kind of into Keyleth does not feel like Tiberius at all. I don't know. It's just uncomfortable. Yeah. Also, that's not how anyone gets. Well, I mean, also that. I'm assuming that whatever was in the flask was some sort of magic alcohol that instantly got him drunk. I don't know. I'm willing to give Orion the benefit of the doubt, but I still hate it. Yeah. Like, I don't think he's actually being weird. It just isn't. It's just not landing.
How are you? I'm Tiberius. It's time to go. You are Princess Pretty Face. He likes you too.
Max just walks away off the roof, out of here. I'm gone.
Grog is riveted.
Human kissy mouth.
If you touch me one more time,
Okay, sorry. Did you need to go somewhere?
I am doing something else. A request that was already made previously before. Can we fix drunk Tiberius? So I'm a little busy. Why don't you go sleep it off, take a nap, and I will deal with you in a second.
It's sleepy time.
For you.
Should you come and cast fireball? Or cast fireball?
Oh
Nope.
my
Okay.
god. And I just shove him into the cell and put him in bed next to Deb.
No, we're not in the prison. We're on the courtyard. We're on the courtyard.
Oh, we're on the. Oh, I thought you said everyone was like Keyleth.
Yes, I called out to the whole
I'm
team.
still in the prison. Everybody else is out of the
Roof. The roof is on fire.
So where do you push him?
Off, I guess.
Off the roof.
No.
Let's go.
I thought we were downstairs.
I fall through.
It's alright. He's been
Stuff
stuff.
happens,
You
right?
don't.
Yeah, it's weird because it started like kind of funny. Like, I'm Tiberius Storm, you are Princess Prettyface. And it's like, oh, like maybe this is gonna be fun, but then it's awkward. And I don't know. That's why I'm having like conflicting emotions. Cause like I look at this and I'm like, yeah, it's like he's just trying to joke around and it's not landing. I think that's it. Is like, I'm right. I really like comedy. I watch a lot of stand up. And there's a very famous quote of like someone can't be, or it's like someone can't boo while they're laughing. Like you are basically if a joke is funnier than it is any negative thing, then it's like probably okay. And like how funny something is very dependent on the audience. Clearly, it is not funnier to Marisha than it is cringe. And that is where I'm at of like, this is like, it is kind of funny, but it is like more cringe. And it's like, it's going in and out of levels. And like, sometimes it almost gets funnier, but then it gets more cringe. And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, I've been on Marisha's side of it and it's not fun. Yeah, I can very much imagine. Yeah, no. When a low charisma person trying to play a high charisma drunk person, hard to pull off. Yeah, I think that is another thing about this is that it's kind of like I said at the beginning, like this doesn't feel like drunk Tiberius. This feels like drunk Orion? Question mark? Like it really doesn't feel like I can imagine what I think Tiberius is supposed to be like as a character, and I can relate that to a person in my real life, and this is not at all how they would act when they're drunk. Like this, yeah, yeah, I think that was well put, Ed. Yeah. Ugh. When Scanlan hits on Pike, it's not as cringe, whereas this is pure cringe. Yeah, like I still don't like it when Scanlan hits on Pike. Like I still think it's weird, but it isn't. It is weird. It is not cringe. This is doesn't make me feel good. I honestly think Marisha is okay with it. There's a moment further down. I'll cite. Yeah, I mean. It's very possible. Like we don't know the backing vibes on like how okay or not okay with it people are, but that is also like part of this of like the joke not landing is in a collective experience like this. You have to give people something that they can play well. Like to me, this does not play well, even if Marisha is comfortable. Like the slapping the finger away IRL feels like something that would have been narrated normally. And I think that maybe that's like the extra weird part is like the extra physicality of like, a lot of this sort of physicality feels like it should be narrated within the joke, but it's happening in real life. It makes me a little weird. I don't know. It makes me feel a little weird. Ashley Johnson told Sam she was okay with Scanlan flirting with her. I've heard that before. I don't think it makes it not weird, but I think I mean that's good. I'm glad. But yeah, I disagree. Marisha's extremely uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the rest of this plays out. But this whole interaction is just, not sure how much that is her trying to fit in, considering some other factors. I mean, I've heard that before. Both Rebecca and Summer, like other people have said that in chat that like they talked about it later on like an interview, I guess. But. Yeah, I mean, the fact that this is all a show makes things like this really hard to judge. And I think that the overall takeaway is at your home tables, try to cultivate a group that if someone does go to a place that you're not comfortable with at your table, you have cultivated a group of people that it's okay that you speak that what's on your mind. Like if you are uncomfortable with any given thing, like we'll probably never know the ins and outs of this fully from like everyone's perspectives. We can, try to analyze it as much as we want. But the real takeaway is at your table, try to hear other people when they say that they're uncomfortable and feel comfortable telling people that you're uncomfortable. It's not like an easy thing, and cultivating it early is good. Be a Sam, not an Orion. If you have to choose, I would prefer a Travis or a Liam, but yeah, sure. Scanlan Pike takes back to their home. Yeah.
Don't fall off the
Anyways.
roof. I don't know what I do with him. I let him pass out.
I'm going to get a sandwich.
I let him go get a sandwich.
Tiberius?
I encourage sandwich.
That's the quote of the night. So, with encouraged to get a sandwich, Tiberius wanders off. What are you doing to prepare what you were doing?
I don't know. I got distracted.
I'm not there.
Okay.
Well, as
I'm
the day
not
progresses
there.
My
forward-
Dude.
idea. Wait. So my idea.
If he was going to be around longer, man, we should have put I'm not Tiberius or Orion says I'm not there on the fucking bingo sheet.
Okay. So
That would be
okay.
instant.
We were wanting extra fortification.
What?
We were wanting
Yes.
extra
Oh, yes,
protection.
yes.
Okay. I can't necessarily cast like a big spell. I could cast hallucinatory terrain. We have a few options. I'm giving them to you all. I could cast hallucinatory terrain to make this look like something else. I don't know. That's a good idea.
Okay,
I don't know. I could conjure a few woodland beings for extra bears. We could have some bears.
Oh, cool.
Guarding the palace.
good to know.
I could also throw up a wall of thorns to kind of barrier.
I like the wall of thorns. I'm not
wall
actually
of
there,
thorns.
but I like
You're not here.
Well, I was downstairs.
Everyone left. I think it's just you and me up here and drunk Tiberius.
I'm done making my
No,
sandwich.
No,
I went
drunk-
downstairs and I'm saying this to the group, so
Oh,
I don't
okay,
have to
good,
repeat
good.
myself.
Okay.
Oh, so then I turn around with my sandwich like,
Okay, I'm not gonna talk about it too much more, but I do I don't want to I isolate you, Summer, but I do want to hesitate away from us saying like you can tell that she loves Sam. I want to hesitate away, like I don't want to use that sort of that sort of language. We don't know what's happening on the back end. We have no idea how these are actors. We don't know how they really feel. Obviously, none of this is scripted, but there are such huge pressures to perform some sort of way, even in like external interviews. This isn't me saying that I don't think that Ashley likes Sam. I think they probably are friends and that they probably love each other. But I want to hesitate away from being like, you can definitely tell that Marisha is uncomfortable or you can tell that she loves Sam. Like, we just don't know any of that shit. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. We're an audience watching a TV show, you know? Conjure an army on squares. To be fair, even in campaign 3, Ashley is very mellow at projecting romantic interest. Sure. And that is something that we will, we'll get to and probably talk about, but I never want to assume intent or behind the scenes vibes like one way or another. I can only talk about how what I am experiencing, how it makes me feel, which in that last scene was uncomfortable.
you have to just make a Laura talk to her. She can fix everything. She can work.
I grabbed Tiberius about that cover.
She can.
Please continue.
Wall of Thorns could be good.
I love thorns.
That plus our
I mean,
guards.
it's not, how big is the thing with Wall of Thorns is it's not super big. It's like 60 feet.
That's pretty big.
It's not the whole place.
It's not the whole place, though.
Careful.
It could be extra.
Oh, 60 feet long. I thought you meant high.
No, it's like 100 feet high. It's really high. Or actually, I don't know how high it
Yeah,
is.
but
Don't quote me on
60
that. But it's not that long. But we could like fortify the doors more, have bears. We could do more.
Yeah, if y'all want to talk about C3, probably head to the spoilers chat. We're getting a little heavy on the C3 talk. I don't think anything's been spoiled yet. I don't think anyone's put in any spoilers, but if you do want to talk about it in detail, there is always the spoilers chat.
Multiple things too.
I think that the hallucinatory terrain wouldn't work. I felt like they could see right through.
I think so too.
From
On the
get-go.
Briarwoods,
Yeah,
probably.
they can see through illusions pretty darn well.
Listen, Percy's
should I make
here.
some
He can
bears?
defend for us.
No, you need a warding spell.
Oh God.
Why don't we just leave someone behind?
Percy's behind.
Percy's here, and so are 5, 6. How many employees?
Oh,
do we
very,
have?
very, very capable.
Oh, I know there's no Discord command. I forgot to import the commands. I need to. I will. Yeah, I just forgot. Shit. Oh yeah, PC not knowing what their spell does. Yeah.
Gods.
Yeah.
Why don't we leave? How
Why
long?
don't you make some extra bears that don't hate us?
Huh?
Why don't you make some extra bears that don't hate us?
All right, I'll make some extra bears.
Put some little hats on them and make them cute.
No. You're totally fine, Summer. You're totally fine. I don't think anyone's been overstepping. I just wanted to call it out before someone oversteps, because I especially don't want to have to like be like, hey, this person you overstepped, because that's awkward and I don't want to do that. So I'd rather call it out long before that happens.
Fix him, because he's
All
a lot of
right.
firepower.
I cast.
I'm having a service. It's good.
What gets rid of drunkenness?
We did restoration.
Coffee.
Restoration would probably.
I don't want to burn a restoration spell on your drunkenness.
Are we going to this door?
Middle
You
restoration.
could also just give it a couple hours. I mean,
What's the problem, man?
drink a lot of water.
Where's this running me all the time?
This point is probably close to
Good.
I hate you so much, Max.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Max is good.
So it's 3 o'clock in the
Give me the
afternoon.
dagger water.
The bird doesn't even come.
Dagger water.
The bird doesn't even come till night. We can let him wear it off.
What
And there
time
we
is
go.
it?
3 o'clock in the
Just
afternoon.
establish this. We're gonna wait till night and go.
What though?
All right.
She said she hated you. How
Yeah.
did that feel?
Fine.
Yeah.
That was fine.
Alright.
She was just, that was the heat of the moment. She was angry. We're a team.
All right, so let's play, guys.
The plan is
We're
we're gonna
gonna
let him sober up. We're gonna give him some coffee, and then we're gonna set off for the north
Yeah, for the
farmlands
farm, so
at
it
dusk.
protects from
Oh, guess
the
we should
bird.
get some corn and other harvestments at the farms.
I make an army of bears.
Okay, this concentration will last an hour.
Oh, that's it.
Conjure one of them being.
We'll be fine.
Wait,
We're just
wait.
on
No,
the
no,
other
no, no,
side
no,
of
no,
town.
no, hang on. What if I conjure a bear
What's the range
and
on
then cast?
What's the range?
Let me make sure. While they figure their stuff out. See, we're all figuring stuff
What
out.
if I
here.
leave
Drink it.
Trinket in the prison
Leave. Drink it.
with Jared?
Yeah.
The bear
No, Jared's down in the cell. We want. This is defense against invading vampires, not against.
Okay, I have a better idea.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is involved with here.
Why don't I conjure an elemental, and then I can cast planar binding on him, and he'll hang out for 24 hours.
Great.
Like it, do
Do
it.
it.
All right.
Make it done.
Do that.
Let's go kill a bird.
Leave with that.
Number one.
I was, figuring it out. It's new.
Gotta talk it through.
Figuring it out.
That's awesome.
Is that how planar binding would work? I mean, I think that after the conjure elemental time has elapsed, it would no longer be your elemental. So I think it would just be like a random air elemental. Although that's an interesting combo. I honestly don't know the details of how that would work. A PC knows what their spells does. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Live now. What up, John? If Fry doesn't, yeah, I'm curious. I'm gonna look it up on the other screen.
Will do.
Don't be able to take fire. Can you do fire?
Yeah,
What
fire.
about water? What about running water?
Fire elemental.
Running water.
Ooh, water elemental. Tiberius, remember that you.
He's drunk.
I know.
Don't talk to him.
Alright, Rick.
He won't remember anything.
I love how you shoot arrows at things' eyeballs.
Told you.
It's like,
Oh no, sorry. Planar binding binds them to your service, so they'd be fine. Oh, yeah. That's okay. Yeah. So shit. That just fucking works. Yeah. Shit. Good shit. That section was not fun to watch when I couldn't chat live. I can imagine. It's better to watch cringe things with a group.
I use a minor illusion to create a Lockheed, and I have him just sort of scamper away.
Go to soup. Where are you going? Go tell your brother to be good. Anyway, you're so pretty.
So are you doing that, Merchant?
What?
Keyleth, are you?
Anyway, what are you saying?
Yes.
Okay. Which kind?
A water elemental.
Okay. And you cast planar binding. Part of the material component
It
cost is a gem
does.
that's worth at least 1,000 gold pieces.
Okay, here's the thing.
I have one of those.
And with planar binding, the spell consumes that. So they're talking about blowing 1,000 gold for like one elemental. I mean, elementals are good. Like, don't get me wrong, but they're not gonna stand up to a vampire ultimately. Although maybe it would stop the vampires from getting in, especially if they did like a water elemental. That could work. Yeah, that's not chat. Yeah. Interesting.
You do?
Yeah, it's a jewel
Magic
that's
battle,
red and
holy.
palm sized.
I have a diamond of awesome. And a regular diamond as well.
If I create a trap here, can you bind some magic
I have
to it?
some stuff
Look,
too.
you can do everything with magic. You can make things go.
give
You can make things stop.
I cover Tiberius' mouth again.
I give her a diamond.
All right. Is this the awesome diamond or the regular
This
diamond?
is a regular diamond. The awesome diamond is
No,
special.
Mr. Tivax, do the
Alright.
math.
No,
awesome
don't
diamond is
do that.
I know. Why do you do that?
Diamonds are really expensive. Any
know.
diamonds.
I know, and an awesome diamond has got to be more than 1,000,
It's
right?
way
So
more
this
than
diamond has got to
1,000.
be at least 1,000.
Just give her the awesome time.
Grog, what kind of jewel do you have?
It's a palm sized, I'm assuming ruby. It's
A
just,
palm-sized ruby.
yeah, it's palm, and I've got a
massive.
big palm.
That is.
Tiberius.
It's a big
Oh,
ass.
man.
Don't.
Look at.
What did you...
The thing is, back in Victoria, they had the
keen
best
eye.
little fluffy cakes.
Is able to ascertain that the palm-sized ruby is worth roughly 1,200 gold pieces and would be suitable for this ritual.
I think we should use a ruby. Just because, I have an eye for these things.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to come while we do this? Do we want to waste it? Because that's an awesome outside defense. Do we want to waste it for this? What if they're coming?
They might.
Does it cost 1 jewel per?
Yeah.
It is an enormous ruby.
Is there a possibility, DM, that I could, if he sobered up, if I set a trap that a spell of his could be bound to it somehow?
That's called a glyph of warding.
It's hard to say. There are certain spells that can enable that. That can take certain spells to trigger at a certain time. Nothing that's particularly in your guys' realm of experience or understanding, though, unfortunately.
Alright, so I've been looking into it for the future, but
Feel it. I like that. I think we should keep it.
A ruby is not a diamond, but the spell actually just specifies a jewel. They were just thinking about diamonds, I guess. But the planar binding just needs a jewel.
In case there is an actual attack coming, because it might just 24 hours and then we waste it. No time.
Grog is a
To be
big
fair,
thing.
the castle is being heavily watched by outsiders.
Does anybody know?
Okay, listen. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Grog is big.
I'm gonna give-
Scanning small. Everything is great.
Can we leave Trink here to watch?
Well, he's gonna go down into prison with Jared.
Just gonna let it happen.
Okay. You bring Trinket down. Trinket stands watch right in the center, kind of plops down right against the bars.
I knock on Percy's door and say, Percy,
Yes.
Trinket's out here.
A jewel.
He's. If you need anything, you just come out and you pet him.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I also go up to the door and go, Trinket, you have Percy, you have
Aren't you
You're not
sober
there.
yet?
No, he's
How many hours
like,
is
it's
the
been like 5 minutes, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, over time, over the next hour.
No, I think a jewel is just a general like jewelry. It's like I think jewels are pretty vague. I don't know. I could be wrong. I am not a geologist. And yeah, thank God they're leaving Trinket where none of them can watch him and where he could be attacked totally off screen by anything Matt wants. Very much the safer place for him.
2-3 hours or so. You guys have set up a place to go. They've given you some water and you guys have set
Vampire
up a bit.
bear.
Actually, picked his pocket, took his bottle of endless water. Don't you have a bottle of water like that?
No, that is currently left to be currently blessed for holy water.
I always believe Dr.
We take the
Google.
scenic route to let him walk it off as we head up towards Big Bird's house.
Great.
All right. So you guys make your way around the outskirts of Iman under moonlight. It's, a 3/4 waxing moon. You make your way to the farm vicinity on the north side of the city. It doesn't take long for you to eventually suss out the house that matches the description that you were given by the Casas. You knock on the door and they eagerly greet you.
John, you're an improviser? Hell yeah. I mean, I know that wasn't the the meat of your comment, but I love me some improv. Improv's dope. Yeah. I mean, and I'll like I said about Rebecca's thing, like I don't want to comment on like what was or wasn't happening. We'll probably never know, but it's fair to say how it made you feel.
Arrival and kind of invite you in. So glad you all can make it. Have you decided? Have you given up?
Fuck, I don't know who Wayne Brady is. God damn it. I'm not making my case here. Shit.
Community's request and thought.
We're here to help. We're
here
the
to kill
heroes
some
that you
giant
asked
birds.
for.
We love old people.
Thank you. That's really, really good of you. We will happily provide you with fresh produce going forward. We've talked to a few members of the community, and we're going to make sure that's taken care
Where
of.
do you think we should stake out this bird? Where are your livestock kept?
The livestock are kept on the eastern side of this community. If you look about a half a mile.
Oh, Wayne Brady's Whose Line Is It Anyways? And How I Met Your Mother. Well, I mean, he's like on How I Met Your Mother, I guess. Not even close. Whose line is it? Okay, I got it right before everyone said it. Let's go. Likes improv but doesn't know Wayne Brady. No. I got it. I just didn't know his fucking name. Okay, I will also say I'm mostly a stand-up guy. I'm not as much of an improv guy. I like improv. I was in an improv troupe once upon a time, but I'm not as into it as a medium. But no, Whose Line Is It Anyways is dope.
Out to where the actual residences stop being clustered together, you'll see there are a number of large livestock containment areas. It's kind of hard to miss out there. We have pins for sheep, we have pins for cows, we have pins for horses, other beasts of burden. We have that whole vicinity is where most of these attacks seem to be coming. So that's probably your best bet there.
And the biggest you have are the bulls, you said.
Bulls. We have a few big cows as well. We've lost a few of them, unfortunately.
Let's go deal with this bullshit.
That'll be all we need.
Oh. Can one of us polymorph into a giant cow?
Sure.
I could also talk to cows again. Maybe these cows will know something.
They're cows. They're dumb.
They're not going to know
We had
anything.
them
Wait, first, can I ask her? Parent, you said your neighbor boy, Kyle.
Kyle, the neighbor boy. The neighbor boy's son.
I think there's only one.
That's true. Kyle's the one who originally spotted it. Yeah.
Oh, where Where does he live?
He's actually the son of the man who runs most of the livestock areas over there. You can go and head over there. He's probably still up, keeping his eye out in case it comes back.
Bro, I'm from Kansas. I can do a hoedown. That's just true. They taught us square dancing in gym class once a year. I can hoe down with the best of them.
Back.
Thank you. I go to Kyle.
Okay, you guys make your way over there. It's easy to find. There's large pins. You can see that for as big as the pins are built and structured, they are noticeably dwindled. You can see why there's been some worry in the community here. The fact it's only going for 2 weeks and this many creatures are gone is a little disconcerting. As you get there, you can see the house has its light on. There's glowing windows, and sitting in a chair, holding a crossbow across his lap, you see about a 19-year-old boy, kind of rugged, chin growth, kind of dirty red hair that's kind of disheveled, and he's just sitting there, kind of looking around in the sky, rocking back and forth in his chair as you approach. Hey, who goes there?
Don't worry, we're friends. We're friends of the Klauses.
Yes. Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Klaus.
Okay. So, you're the ones that say was coming to help?
Yes.
That's right. Aye.
We do have a keen eye, Kyle.
I've seen some things, yeah.
Where have they been attacking lately?
Just points to the whole area in front of us. Are you keeping watch now? Right.
Yes, sir, John. That's exactly where I learned it. I can do a square dance. Although I can do most dances. and I know that that's weird and vague, and I'm gonna leave it weird and vague. Fuck you guys.
Yes, thank you.
No, wait.
Gonna
Don't
drip
leave.
feed you
Yes,
that lore.
Yes. We are Vox Machina, over from Grayskull Keep, Tiberius Stormwind.
That's irrelevant. The point is, I was wondering if you had any more information about
Oh yeah.
the creature.
I mean, other than the fact that it was just a really, really big bird. Like, really big.
Do you remember any other details, any other defined details other than like a bird?
It's hard to see in the moonlight color.
When it picks up a cow or whatever it's been picking up, does it strike with the beak or the claws, the talons?
Claws, and sometimes it takes 2 at a time, one in each claw.
And does
That
it,
big.
And just carries them away. Have you seen any of its droppings anywhere? No.
Have you managed to hit it with your crossbow?
I've missed.
And you're certain this is a feathered beast, or no?
It looks best I can see. It's dark out here at that time of night, and it looks like a bird. It doesn't make any noise, and it just swoops on down. Now, takes them away and flies off in that direction.
I've heard that those giant birds are attracted to red-headed 19-year-old scruffy chin folk with crossbows.
Make an intimidation check. This will be with your charisma.
22.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, here's the stat block. If you just wanted to take a look at that, if you just wanted to give that a once through, whatever.
He goes. Well, I don't want to be here then. You guys can keep an eye out. I gotta go. And just kind of unloads the bolt in the crossbow, slings up in her arms.
Wait, before you leave, I'm sorry. I have an itch, and it can only be scratched with a cowbell. Do you have a cowbell anywhere around?
Wait, do you need more cowbell?
I just need a cowbell.
More.
It will.
Just need a bit more
Can I
cowbell.
borrow a cowbell from you?
Your kid's weird. He keeps walking.
Your kid is
Tell
weird.
people about Vox
Stop,
Machina.
stop!
Can
I bet there's one out there.
Do I see any cowbells on the ground?
And you take a glance about. You eventually can see that there is set up on.
Almost. Let's see. I'm gonna do one more time. And I will tell you, I used to be much better. Oh, wait, let's see if I can still do something that's actually somewhat impressive. Wait. I haven't done this in a long time, so I might not be able to do it. We'll see. Do a Booker T spinneroonie. Wait, let's see. Ooh, almost. I want the silence. I need to put on some not Critical Role. I need to put on some Welcome to Taldore. And And those are my bona fides, and I will not explain. I will refuse to explain.
One of the fences. That fence is in the cows. There's a cowbell. Yes.
Hey, there's cowbells.
Great.
SSH, I cannot do that anymore. But I have done that before. And there is video proof, and I will not be submitting it because it would dox me. But, yeah, I can in fact do that.
It will help the ruse. Here's my plan.
Okay.
We're all cows.
Can you do the worm? Yeah.
Is that an okay?
We're not just going to go through dances at this point. We're not just going to go through things that I can or can't do. Like I said before, I can do all dances. How adept are we at the Hustle dance stream? Yeah, I need to do, I'll do a, that's 500 is just me doing a dance stream. No, I used to be, all right. I used to be in a professional ballet company. Once upon a time. That was in grade through high school. Quick Saturday Night Fever impression, never seen it. So, what about the dance from the movie Airplane? Also haven't seen it. Motherfucker. So I can't do those dances, I guess. But I'll do an on that explains so much. Oh yeah, dude, I was a big ballet boy. But that was also when I had super fucking short hair, and right after I got out of the ballet company, I went into ROTC in college, and I got fucking yoked. I've had a lot of different phases across my life. Yeah. You need to watch the movie Airplane if you like comedy. Bet, I'll watch Airplane. Do some Swan Lake or something. Swan Lake sucks. Swan Lake's a terrible ballet. I've been in several. Swan Lake is trash. It's too long. Is the majority of it. It has some good dances. Or some not dances. Everyone does it different. But some of the music's all right, but it's way too long. John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. Oh, I could look that up. I'm gonna play the show, but I have seen Pulp Fiction at least. Swan Lake sucks. Yeah, put it right next to Phantom of the Opera sucks. Hate both of them. Run through the ballet feet positions. Dance, monkey, dance. Oh, like double jazz hands. Oh, or are you meaning like the different? I don't even think I could get a cam on my feet. Ballet kid to ROTC tig. About click whiplash. Yeah. Name a ballet you like. In Kansas City, there's this really cool ballet every year called Underground. It's about the Underground Railroad. It is super cool. It has some dope music. And it has some really fun and inventive scenes where they use props really well to augment the dancing, which I like a lot. So, yeah. But I could still... I can still hit fucking the nice little tabletop, but and you want fingers to be almost touching, but not actually touching. You fucking ingrates.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into this plan.
All right, I guess.
Doesn't that essentially make us the bait?
Yes, we're our own bait. You cool with that?
Should one of us maybe not be a cow?
Good idea.
Well, here's-
Do you like Rite of Spring? No huge feelings on it. It's fine. To be fair, I've only seen it once. So
the thing, maybe a few of us should not be cows because only a few people are going to have the ability to turn out of being a cow once they are a cow, unless they take damage.
We went from all cows to pretty much no one's a cow.
No. Keelan is definitely a cow.
Fine.
Well, I mean, I didn't mean
No,
like that.
I can make us all.
You are
We'll
very
do
fine, very
SSH.
lovely.
I can make us all cows.
It's okay. What Vax said was way worse earlier.
How do you come out of being a cow if you are one?
I can get rid of it.
You.
Yes, I can make us all cows.
Let's do it. How
On and
what
off
else are we
switch.
all going to be cows?
On and off cow switch.
Come on. Unless it kills him instantly, we'll be fine.
I'm fine. I go invisible.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna lay in wait with an arrow, just,
Effort time,
all the
baby.
rest of you.
Effort time.
I think I'm better served waiting to strike.
Oh, you.
No. Oh, I forgot the John Travolta dance. The John Travolta is that's fucking nothing. Anyone can get up on their toes. Fucking do a little bit of this shit. Come on. The Mistake Waltz is one of my favorite ballet pieces. I've never heard of that. Cool.
Because you're a those guys.
Yes,
if
baby.
it grabs one of them, I will deal more damage. If it grabs me, I will deal no damage. But if it grabs Scallon Cow, I can.
I don't know.
Well, the thing is,
secure it.
I can turn it into a cow. We can turn someone. I can
I
turn
can turn
someone
us
else into
all.
a cow.
I can turn us all.
Well,
into cows.
polymorph is a concentration
I
spell.
can turn us all into cows.
He also does do the twist. That's fair. You fucking getting some of that twisty action.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
because you got that thing.
Yes. I'll be
Cow or no, Keyleth? Give us
thing?
your answer.
Oh, I'm a cow.
What thing?
seeming.
Oh, we're not actually cows.
Come on, we'll just seem like cows.
Well, then yes, we'll all be cows.
Except for me, who's going
If
to
it's
be an
polymorph, I
actual
could cast
cow.
stuff.
Oh, then let's all be a cow and just like wandering around with still my bow and
So I'm
arrow.
like, no. If then I reject my invisibility, I'll be a cow. I also be a cow.
I'm not
I want to be a brown
certain
cow.
We're all cows. Just embrace it.
Can't change a target's body type.
What? No.
So same
You
form of
can't
limbs.
be
You're right.
arrangement.
So
We can't change size, but we can all be
Like
frog-sized
tiny
cows or
cows.
Scanlan-sized.
it's going to be an array
Look like
of
super-
very
Array of different cows?
strangely sized cows.
Super
like-
juicy cows.
Scanlan, why don't you be like a calf? Big cow.
What do you think?
Yeah. Does he want veal
like
or
it.
does he
I'll
want?
allow it.
Yeah.
Gather close to me.
Okay.
We
okay.
want to get the pen first, right?
Yes, let's go with the pen.
Yeah, okay, let's all get
If I
it.
may,
Yeah.
I'm going to wear the cowbell.
You've earned it.
All right, you
How are
guys.
you gonna put it on? I'm just gonna put it around your neck right now.
There you go.
There you go.
Alright.
Super loose.
You guys
Yeah,
make your
yeah,
way into the cow pen. The little bit of moonlight that's coming down from the sky illuminates. You see the cows are kind of clustered underneath this overhang that's used for temporary shelter. You hear this thing kind of like.
Maybe
As
you
you
should
approach
speak
and
to
make
them, see
noise.
when, if they know what time they come.
Well, I can.
No
I'll
one's
still
too
be-
upset yet. It's more low mutterings of approaching
That was
something.
attraction.
Question:
Not yet.
if we use seeming, we just appear to be cows.
Correct.
So we can
But
see
and we can still speak, right?
Yeah.
We'll be talking cows.
Just anything sees you as cows
Would be like, holy shit, those are
of
talking cows.
strange size. Yes.
It's camouflage.
Oh, you take
Yeah.
this.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
And
is why-
scene.
This is why.
Let's be cows. Let's
I
be
have to
cows.
give you experience for that.
So wait, what's going on? Are we turning into cows, or are other creatures going to think we're cows?
like cows.
I don't understand magic.
Just go along.
Go along with it. That way we
Go
can
along.
ambush
All right.
the birds.
We're gonna look like cows.
So
Are we
just
gonna look
look
like cows to each other too?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Okay. It'll be
As you all gather around the small gnome, currently adorned with a bell around his neck,
Like the brothels, eh?
you complete the spell, and with a sudden whoosh of cold night air, your vision blurs and you kind of blink for a second and look around, and Vox Machina is now instead an array of slightly smaller than average cows.
Oh wait, no.
You, by the way, you're more of a calf.
Oh,
You're so cute, Scanlan. Okay, shall we go interview some cows?
yeah, let's go talk to some cows.
The goat goes. The cow goes.
I want to walk over to the cows with you.
You
Yeah,
guys
okay, we go
step
with the
up
cows.
awkwardly towards the cows, some of which are sleeping, some of which are just kind of
Yes.
noticing and sitting there kind of chewing.
Which one looks like the alpha male?
The one that's got horns.
There are no
gonna go
males in this pen
Cows.
because they're cows.
Cows. I go to the.
Oh, be the kid.
I go to one of the cows.
Soldier
That's
sound,
out. I try to speak
Try to speak?
to the cow.
Okay. What do you say?
Hello, I'm Tiberius Storm.
Keyleth, you speak with
You speak in
them.
common, like you don't know cow.
Tiberius, just because you look like a cow doesn't mean you can talk to the cows.
Well, I just thought we'd
The
give
cows
it.
don't understand English.
I thought I'd give it a whack.
No matter if you look like a cow, they still don't understand.
Boy, if Uriel could see us now.
Hit her council worthy.
I cast Speak with Animals.
This is the best Vox Machina adventure ever. All right, you can't speak with animals.
How many times have your players turned themselves into cows? Actually, once. Not all of them, but one of them. And I elaborated too much on the dance. You guys squeezed it out of me. I will not elaborate on the cow.
Yes. How many animals can I hit with Speak with Animals? It is called Animals, right? Or is it just Speak with
Well,
Animals?
I think it affects you. I think it gives you
try
the ability
one.
to
Oh, just
speak.
me the ability to
Like Dr. Doolittle.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Sure,
Dr.
that works.
Animals.
I think you're right. Okay, so I cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Oh, did you tell her about my name and where I'm from, Keyleth?
Yep, on self 10 minutes. So
Make sure the cow. What?
Is it where?
No, a cow that is over there.
Okay, so I go up. Is there a cluster of nice-looking ladies sitting around?
all the cows are clustered in this one corner, kind of up against each other for body warmth, and their feet are kind of like.
Hello, ladies. Good evening.
What's up, girl?
What
Fine,
you guys
nice,
hear?
correct?
You hear response. What are you doing? We're trying to sleep.
Yes.
Standing up. Yeah. Okay.
I do apologize to awaken you. I was just curious if you could tell me a little bit about some of the events that have been transpiring around here lately, mainly in the results of your kind getting killed.
We're cows.
Hi, kind.
Just ask about the bird.
Cows? Have you seen a giant bird flying around?
At which point all the cows kind of like start showing around like, yes, haven't you? They keep taking us. Why do you think we're hiding under this?
Oh, sure.
Careful, if you stay out there, it'll see you.
Right. Oh, if you say where exactly? Where? Have they been? Okay.
What's up?
Yeah, cows. Never goes well.
Keyleth,
Can you tell?
what vital information have you learned?
I'll get back to you. 1 second.
So nothing.
Can you tell me anything about what it looks like?
It's It's big and has wings. It's fast and it keeps taking us.
Ask her when the moon is where it's at night.
Does it seem to come at a certain time of night?
There you go.
The dark time.
It's a cow. This is the same as before. It's a
Because
cow.
nothing is happening, I am now trying to eat grass.
I for once.
So you bend down and take clusters with your hands and start eating grass.
Guys,
But we're ourselves still. We don't actually.
Yeah,
have
you're
those.
not actually physically cows. You're still yourselves. You just look like
I
cows.
for once, and it's not weird, I just shit on the floor. Seems totally normal.
We are in it, baby.
God.
I'm just gonna notch my bow just to keep a lookout
Okay.
to this guy.
Guys,
Can I press it to detect smells?
You could.
Oh, sweet. Go ahead.
All right, so we go out into the field. We go out into the
Yeah,
field.
we wait.
they're cows. I forgot that talking to cows never goes well.
I remember
Shocker.
Dork.
They seem to know a lot.
The cows.
It's okay.
They're simple-minded beasts.
Dork the ox.
Yeah, poor dog.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Dork.
Love you, dog.
I don't know if anyone made the whole group crack up there. Do we think that they did? Did anyone meet the threshold on this one? I'm not sure. Ding the Scanlan poop counter. I do not want
You
to
guys
make
make your
that.
way.
I don't want to remember it.
Out to the middle. And you wait a while, a good probably 2-hour period as cows.
Cows.
Before eventually you, keeping your eye to the sky
Cows.
with your arrow, not to see
Cows.
a wisp of shadow kind of across the moonlight.
Oh, Scatland's the worst.
I'm letting you guys fucking know there's a thing in the sky.
Is this a Jumanji time?
Not quite.
At this point, you guys look up and you notice you see something circle once.
Oh, shit.
It looks like a bird. It's just not as big as you were expecting. Looks like a.
I do. Oh, that's true. Camouflage also did make all of them crack up. I'll give it. Yeah, because that was the one I was thinking of. Robin was like, the unironically pooping did make all of them laugh quite a bit. Okay, I'll give it to him for a combo of the two. No, I'm not doing a Scatland. I hate the word
cast don't see myself.
scat.
Okay. And it gets bigger and bigger. And
My
you realize
cow
at
is
this
going
point it was
stealth.
further away. Roll for cow stealth.
23.
Okay.
I kind of
You're still a cow. Okay.
make myself look available. Maybe I
Oh.
Step away from the rest of the
I
herd.
step away
and
from the rest of the herd a little bit.
I go into a cow rage and start chewing faster.
He would like to chew. All right, so this entity.
My hunter's market.
Okay, well, let's come to the range first.
As soon as it is.
As soon as it swoops down, you see this bird just gets larger and larger. And you realize it
Do
was
I
quite a
would like
distance
to
away.
rage?
And now that it's getting closer, it is. The tales you've heard are true. This at least 100-foot wingspan, if not more. As it in a second.
I'm gonna fix my ring on it.
100-foot wingspan?
Like as it gets close, I'm bracing my ring as it's coming towards.
Okay. It comes. It dives down with extreme speed. It just goes into a dive. It comes in range. You cast Hunter's Mark on it. You have your ring ready. What are you doing?
Cast slow on it.
Cast slow. Alrighty. What is the DC on that?
17.
And what is the save?
It's concentration. No wait, it is concentration.
His save is 17. 8 plus charisma plus prof. So I get no, that could work. Okay, never mind.
Yes, it is.
I just had to think about it for a second.
I'm finding it. All right, it is wisdom.
Sure.
Alrighty.
I should write that in.
Ooh, that is. What was the DC?
17.
17. That is an 18. So roll a natural 18 on that one. So as it swoops down, you release the spell. You are immediately attempting to be grasped in its talons.
Moo!
That is
Moo!
a
Moo, moo, moo.
23 to hit.
That hits.
Boy, calm
All right. So you then take 23 points of slashing damage
Jesus.
to your cow form,
Yeah.
which.
Well, I thought we were just.
The hanging of
Okay. No, sorry.
cows.
You're not in cow form. Are you? You're illusion. You're staying normal.
No, I'm normal.
You know, right? Okay. So I remember you said you're doing an actual cow form, but no. All right. So take 23 points of slashing damage, and you are currently grappled as it takes right back up into the air, clutching Keyleth within its talons.
How fast can the rest of us do anything? It's gone. It's gone.
Now you guys can react. It is currently 60 feet away from you,
I
and
immediately. Oh god, I shoot it. That's all I can.
We have to roll for
What the fuck is it? Okay, so even though they were all actively prepared for it, it swooped down, I think, 100 feet, and then back up 60. So we're saying it has 160 worth of movement. I don't know there, Mr. Matt. Like, I wish Vax got to use his main ability that would be perfect here. Yeah, this is a little hand to the DM. You can see that Matt wanted, I think it's a rock. I don't know what it is though. It wanted the rock to pick one of them up and for like that to be the start of the combat, especially after they made themselves bait. But that is I think a little harsh. Don't ask questions. Matt's word is law. You right. The bird is Barry
Can I
out.
react?
Oh, you do.
Okay.
I can't react.
I was notched already.
Did you say monster info counts as a spoiler? Yeah, probably. I mean, especially if we'll figure it out pretty soon, yeah. But I'm guessing it's
I'll
wrong.
give you advantage on your initiative. Because you're not.
Just D&D info? Oh, I mean, if I feel like spoiling it for myself, I'll just look it up. So if I can just look up the rock speed, which I actually was thinking about doing on the other side. So, yeah. I'm going to say if you do it, it's no big deal, but I will probably not like actively ask for it in case I want to keep myself in the dark for some reason. That one's vague, though. I don't know. You're not going to get in trouble.
You used your last turn to cast Hunter's Mark on thing. So everyone roll initiative. You have advantage. Sorry, you have advantage on it because you were knocked, and because you're ready to react, you have advantage on your initiative check. But everyone else just rolls normally.
Okay.
All right. So that is 25 to 20.
21.
20 to 15.
17.
18.
A rock does have a fly speed of 120, so maybe.
16.
Keyleth. All right. Scanlan, tell us what you guys got.
Oh, and a rock is CR 11? Damn, I nailed that. Okay, yeah, it's definitely a rock. No question.
Okay. All right, so Vex, you're up first.
I'm gonna shoot it through the blazing bowstring.
Okay, go for it. Roll for the attack.
16.
16 hits.
So I will.
Just a big pissed off
26.
crow.
26 points of damage. Alrighty.
And then I'm gonna shoot it again.
Go for it. Like
That
style.
definitely hits 26.
Yeah, it is.
26 again.
Alrighty, nice. Alright, that brings us to Grog.
I'll take the firebrand warhammer, activate it, turn on the fire, put the chain of returning on it.
Turn on the fire.
Winged beast.
Okay, go ahead and roll with disadvantage because it is quite 60 feet, roughly like 40 to 60 feet away from you. It's tough to get.
I'm not really good at range.
You can try.
15.
Oh, we are well past the bio break point, and we're going into the fight. So I'm gonna call a bio break. Also bingo. Oh yeah, also combat. So go get water, everybody. Hydrate or dihydrate. Have a fun pee pooper in between, and I will be back. What's up? How you doing? How you going? How is it going? You have a good bathroom break? I did too. Let's just jump into it.
16.
Okay. Due to its distance and the dark cover of night, it's harder to hit, and you actually swing and throw it, and the hammer, the chain goes taut, and it just drops to the ground, and it's just at the range of the hammer as it just escapes the range it would have hit it with.
Can I pull it
back? Yeah, go for it. That's easy enough. Not wasting anything. You have to roll for it. That works. Alright, so that's your turn, Max.
I'd like to use bonus action to click Boots of Haste together and use, I think if I do that I have 2 actions at that point, right?
Boots of Haste! That's bingo, everybody! Woo! Let's go! I have no idea what getting bingo means. It's just fun. Bingo! Wow! I'm emojiing! Oh my god! Bingo! Alright. Oh man, maybe I'll actually have bingo mean something at some point, but right now it means nothing. First bingo on the cow episode. No notes, no complaints. You have my attention. Stop spamming symbols. Oh wait, what is... Oh, you spammed exclamation points and Nightbot slapped you for it. How dare. Oh my god. Alright, I need to loosen up the spam filters on Nightbot a little bit.
No, you have
it's a work in
progress. You have an additional action that can use only to attack.
Just attack. Okay, so what I do is click Boots of Haste together, use the original action to run as far as I can towards the bird, and then use my final action to sneak attack the thing since it's got Keyleth in its talons.
24 hours straight.
Okay, the sneak attack will not kick in because Keyleth is not threatening the creature.
Okay.
You go for the attacks. You rush up, you dash, you get underneath, you're kind of keeping, for a moment, because of the Boots of Haste, you keep speed with this giant darting creature, you just underneath, throw your daggers upward. Go ahead and roll.
So that would just be one, I mean, if I use the dash to run as far as I can, that would leave me with one
attack and your bonus without the damage.
But I'm trying to be a Boy Scout here. Would the Boots of Haste clicking be the bonus action? Yeah. Okay, so that is 22 to hit.
That hits.
Alright. And that's not a whole lot.
What's the range you can hit on the actually?
It's 10.
10? Yeah. Dagger. You roll again for disadvantage because it's just within your secondary throwing range.
Then I missed.
Okay. It just vanishes into the dark night ahead of you. So yeah, that's gone.
Going from bad to worse real quick.
You still have your belt turning, you still have your snake belt.
Okay. Yeah, I have my returning belt.
Yeah, don't worry guys. That's all look in your face. I'm like, no, that's fine, that's bad. Okay, so that Keyleth, you're up. You're currently grappled and held within the talons of this giant bird. As you just see the entire ground just below you.
Judging by the fairly close-up appearance I have of him at this point, can I tell he's probably of beast nature?
You, at the sheer size, it's hard to tell. You've never encountered a beast of this size, but you do look up and you can see the talons that are currently holding you in place and kind of piercing the sides of your armor and they're forcing you are bird-like talons, and you do see a series of dark feathers coating the entire underbelly of this entity.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to cast Dominate Beast.
Okay. All right.
Let's make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Is your enhance ability still active from before?
That's for ability checks with it. So you finish casting the spell.
He gets 1 cheap.
Apparently this entity is not affected by the spell.
That's not a beast.
It's not a beast.
Is a rock not a beast?
The fine line when certain creatures of nature are altered by some sort of magical essence, or their nature perhaps is not natural at the get-go. Either they were created or over time they became something beyond beast. This seems to fall into that category.
It's a pigeon.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
that brings us to its turn. It goes for a full...
Can I try and break the grapple as a bonus
that
action?
would be your action to try and break the grapple.
It would be an action.
For this creature's turn, it just does a full double dash at its full flight speed and is about 250 feet away from you, completely out of your guys' reach. You see it up into the sky, disappearing to the north, kind of north-northwest area beyond Iman, carrying Keyleth in its claws.
Keyleth, just get out of its fucking hands and fall. You can change, we'll catch you, we'll do something, just fall.
You're close enough, you still hear this, and the kind of the desperation kicks in, and you realize, and you're seeing your whole party just, they're not even visible at this point, except for a couple of dark dots in the low light.
Is it our turn yet?
It now comes to Scalen's turn.
Okay, dimension door.
It's a monstrosity. Ow.
What's the range of dimension door?
500 feet.
You and appear where? Where do you want to appear?
On it. On its back.
Okay. You appear right on its back. You immediately land and start sliding back as the wind is pushing on you. The feathers themselves do the aerodynamic nature of the flight path. It's a lot of wind resistance against you. No, I was going to. You go ahead and make an acrobatics check to see if you can maintain balance on the back of the speed.
My intelligence is not 6. 20.
You manage to you tumble backward a little bit, you grab a couple of feathers and get yourself just on the side underneath where the wing meets the part of the upper torso, where the wind resistance is the least amount, and you manage to hold on. So you're now clutching the back of this giant bird.
Okay.
That's your turn.
Okay, as my bonus action,
Okay.
I will inspire Keyleth. Right, she's right next to me, right?
You gotta be real level. Yeah, you can see her a little bit below there.
Do way you kick so much ass like nobody else. The way you do animal things gets me overwhelmed. You don't know. You don't know you're powerful. That's what makes you powerful.
Due to the wind, you don't hear the last line. It's too loud around it. But however, you do take a decent inspiration dice.
Amazing.
Which, for the record, this currently right now looks like.
I should have headed it off. I should have headed it off at the pass, SSH. Is it an animal, beast, or monstrosity? Yeah. Yeah. Bonus bingo, Scanless sings. Do we want to keep doing the bingo? I put it away. I guess there's no reason to not keep doing it. We'll keep doing it. Yeah, where's Scanlan sings a song?
You see the cow.
A song that I knew, by the way.
There was a cow holding on to this.
Yeah, the last 8 hours.
Tiny cow.
Oh my god.
Alright, that ends your turn.
I drop Stone Skin, and I 5th level I go myself. 1, 2, 3. I cast Fly on all of us. Fly, and go right after him.
All right, all you guys. At that point, you see the and you all take off
I
after.
hope we don't get in trouble for fleeing him all.
The cows take off into the night sky.
Fly, Vox Machina, move!
Vox Machina.
A squad of weirdly sized flying cows lit by moonlight chasing after a giant bird.
It's the logo, except for cows.
I love Dungeons and Dragons.
What is this?
What's the fly speed on?
Mine's double.
60 feet.
60 feet, cool.
I'm gonna dash on that.
Yep, you guys can go 120 feet every turn. It can go 240. 2 rounds pass before you guys realize there's no way you're gonna catch up with this thing or get even
But
close to
I've
it.
got 100
I got haste.
I've got 100 on it.
Correct.
So I can track it.
Double me, yo, I got haste.
Your haste speed, your physical body doesn't affect the fly spell, unfortunately. You're only at the speed that the arcane nature of the spell.
Moo earns.
Saying. Your metabolism feel faster heartbeats, like hummingbirding it, but you're still only going at 80 feet. 60 feet. So, as you guys follow behind, you can see now, after a while, on the edge of the shoreline, not too far from Iman, maybe like what would normally be from horseback or a brisk walk, half day's travel, you eventually come upon the there it is. You come upon the coastal mountains known as the Shoreline Summit. It's a series of unusually steep mountain bluffs that hug the coastline northwest of Iman. As you get closer, and at this point you've lost sight of the bird, Scanlan, I want you to go ahead and roll an athletics check.
Athletics? Yeah. Well, that doesn't count. That's not good. Athletics. 16.
16? Okay. You still manage to keep hold for a portion of the length of the journey as it moves and shifts, and the wind itself is still blowing in your face, though minimized by your current positioning. It's a trial to hold on to this large creature as it makes its wings beat and just the sheer force of its movement. Alright, so you get closer to these mountaintops.
Do I have a turn yet? Can I do
You can go ahead and take a turn out too, yes?
Yeah?
Yep.
And yeah, this is nearly double speed that we're watching it at, so that would have an effect.
I cast Polymorph on it.
Oh, shit.
And you're on it.
Don't worry about me.
I mean, as long as they can catch up and get to them for feather falling, this should be fine, right?
Really?
I'm fine.
Plus, they're not going to take so much damage that they outright die. They're just going to go on a little unconscious. It's fine. It's fine. They're not going to get overkilled.
You never need to worry about me. Haven't you guys learned that by now? I'm fine. I'm fine.
Out of thematic reasons, I also turned him into a cow.
That's amazing.
That's when she cries out heroically.
Moo!
Consequences and cows.
Made my spell DC 18.
Rolled 1.
I'm a cow. I'm a cow. I'm a cow.
Like a cow.
Giant flying bird.
Oh my god.
It just begins to plummet at an extreme speed. You guys both immediately are released from its grasp. Scanlan and Keith both are just falling.
How high
you
up
guys
are
don't see
we?
this. It's too far away from you now. At this point, you're probably close to about, let's say, 500 feet in the air.
Yo, I heard you like cows, so I gave you some cows.
This is. I hope this inspires the next Diablo Calo, guys. I really need to look into this. All right, so you guys are now both plummeting and falling at a really, really rapid speed.
I go eagle form.
You go eagle form. Zoom. You're fine. So you go into eagle form. That's your action this turn. That's your bonus action. So you can do that as a.
As a bonus action.
Whoa, really?
So eagle form.
This is not fair. They don't know what an asshole you are. They have no idea the malice and hate that lives behind those eyes. They only see this cute little visage. They don't know that you're such a dick to me so much. But I love you. What the fuck? What a good... I know. She seems like that, right? God, I hate you, but I love you. Ugh. You're the worst, but also the best and the cutest. It's crazy.
Scanlan, you plummet full speed on this one. You probably have another 2 rounds before you impact with something very painful.
But he's like as heavy as a dust mote, so he just kind of goes like this all the way down, right?
He's a calf.
That's how it works.
No, he's a little pebble.
All right, so
I can catch him if you need to catch
you
him.
guys still continue to give chase. Eventually, you see this giant thing just go and vanish from sight. It's just gone. It's just
Where'd he go? Oh, I go full Gandalf.
All right.
go full Gandalf.
Never go. You guys push it forward. So it's now the next round for you guys to react. What are you doing?
I will become a pterodactyl.
So you're casting
polymorph on myself.
Okay. Because you are falling,
okay,
and this is a lot of wind, I'm gonna have to ask you to make a concentration check to complete the spell.
Come on, Scanlan.
Not how
So
it
go ahead and
works.
roll D20.
Concentration, not on holding a spell, but on casting it.
Correct, because as part of like the components of it and maintaining your attention to the spell.
What does he add? His spell tech bonus?
This is it's a D20 and let's make sure, yeah, it's a D20 and then you add your +5 from your charisma.
That's a natural 20.
Oh!
Snap!
Shit! Pterodactyl.
They're both flying cows.
Wait, was saving a concentration? Does that mean?
I think it has. That's what it knows.
Did we just drop? Are we no longer cows?
I think so. I'll check. Hey,
you're
not a cow anymore.
Oh my god, you're not a cow anymore.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. I say I slept through drunk Tiberius. You did indeed. You did indeed. I recently watched a Disney villains death compilation, and a huge percentage of them are just falling to their deaths. The heroes don't have to actually kill the villain. Well, yeah, that way the heroes are still super squeaky clean. And if the villain dies off screen, you can always bring them back. I never trust an off-screen death to save my fucking life. That's why I said if Kima dies off screen, I won't believe it for a second. I thought one of my original theories was that Kima was going to escort them all the way there, and then like the temple was going to be like collapsing around them, and she was going to be like, "Go save yourselves, I'll hold them back." And I was like, "Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit." That was one of my initial theories, because if they die off screen, you cannot trust that shit. Pterodactyl completely normal? Yeah, obviously. Yeah, it's just an easy pterodactyl. Scar was eaten alive, but you couldn't even see him get eaten alive. Still off screen.
Awesome.
Bro, why you still look like a cow?
You guys keep flying. You guys catch yourselves.
Exactly, Hans. You don't see that brain juice. They're still around.
Just lasts for 8 hours.
You guys are all still flying cows. Still just a squadron of flying illusory cows.
Yeah.
But you guys are both now transformed into an eagle and a pterodactyl.
But, we look
but
like
you
cows.
still look like cows.
As the twins are flying. Hey, did you notice we have the same pattern? Twins.
About this time,
This
you
is
hear
utterly ridiculous.
a loud, impactful, and there's a cloud of dust partway into
this is
the first bit
delightful.
of the mountain range that you come upon.
Come on, basic.
A little bit different from you guys.
Can I fly down towards it?
You start heading that direction. It's like because of the speed it was traveling at and the way that it was carrying it, the speed it was going, it's still ahead of you guys. And you see just poof, the impact. You hear this loud screeching sound, and you see now where there was a little poof cloud, these wings unfold and whoosh, whoosh,
Oh,
whoosh.
fuck, it's
Take
still
its way
flying?
back.
How far away from it are we?
You guys right now at the, I'd say probably close to 5-6 minutes you've been traveling.
Did it not drop the cow to 0 hit points?
That's what?
It did, but then it
But then
transformed.
it draws damage carries to 0.
Oh,
Comes
So
back.
it's hurt.
Yeah.
But
So
it's
how much did it do?
The remainder of that damage.
no, it looks hurt. It looks like it doesn't happy about it. It continues back up. From you, Tiberius, it's probably close to 700 to 800 feet away from you.
What? Damn it.
Just because the speed it was traveling, the speed you guys were following, it was gaining on you every
Is it
single
flying
turn.
away from us now?
It's heading up into the mountain range.
Fly after that motherfucker.
Should we still track it? Are we, it's still nighttime, right? I mean,
nighttime, yeah.
okay.
It's only 500 feet away from me right now.
600, 500 feet.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going for it still.
What are you doing?
Well,
Following it? We're all following it.
Where am I? Is it taking off right now? And I'm like over here.
You're back here. It's now starting to take off and head up towards the top of this mountain range that you're just starting to come upon.
Okay. If it's doing that, then I'll fucking go like higher and try to meet it where it's going.
Okay. All right, cool. The rest of you guys continue to get chase. Now that it's reforged its form, it travels an additional double dash 200 and 240 feet. As this progresses, like it's far beyond any of you
Is
guys.
the mountain range like really far away?
No, it's you just hit the outskirts of the mountain range.
Okay.
You got there first. You guys just catch up to where it starts, and you see it's like now it's dodging through the mountains and is currently no longer in sight. There's a little bit of low cloud cover in this area. Just a couple kind of drift by and cover a couple of mountains, but this little cluster of seaside cliffs and mountains, as you get closer, you can see it's dotted with high altitude trees. There's precariously perched goats that are sleeping on elements of the sides of this mountain.
Can you track it?
I can track it, of course.
So you're keeping your attention.
Is that your horse?
Yes.
The winds also are pretty strong as you get close to the mountains. And you can, as you coast around each, you start actually diving into this kind of middle valley
I'm gonna
area.
pass that trace on all of us.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Okay.
Does that affect anything?
Which makes it
Well,
stealth easier.
It doesn't drop Hunter's
Is it
Mark?
concentrated?
yeah, but it drops Hunter's
Oh,
Mark.
wait. I don't even tell.
Pass that a trace. Concentration.
Where does it say it?
There's a C. There's a C somewhere. Concentration.
Oh, never mind. It's a concentration. Forget it.
Yeah. As you guys,
Get it!
Word
Yeah,
yet.
they stick
Okay.
to this bows and arrows.
PC
traveling through
forgets
this area,
it
you can see
there.
that the
I mean,
mountains, the way that
she didn't forget what it does, but
this area is not like a gradual crack. A lot of it just kind of punched up in the air. Like whatever this heavy seismic force that created this initially was very localized and very powerful. A lot of mountains are spire-like. They come up with a very, very sheer size, and you can see why this mountain range is largely not utilized or traversed or.
also this has been delightful. I know that Robin was joking about it being peak Critical Role, but I do love me a goofy little montage. Like them, like, you know, teleporting up and down, especially when they're level 11. You can kind of throw them into shit. Like, I know I gave Matt shit for how he started the combat, and I stand by that shit that I threw. But it is fun to just like grab one of them and like see what happens, because they have so many spells and they have enough health to where, like I said, even if they fall, they're probably just gonna go downed, not get killed outright. So like, just like picking one of them up and like seeing what happens, like I think that's a really fun start to a situation. The cow episode is great. Everyone loves the cow episode. I bet, dude. Not joking. This is peak CR. It only goes downhill. Oh my god, dude. I mean, it is very fun. I think the moral of this story is that, especially as your PCs get higher and higher and higher, you can put them into more and more normally ludicrous positions. I think that a lot of times DMs, when they get to when the campaign gets to higher level, they'll do something like they'll try to, you know, have a player like traverse through a dungeon, and they're like, and they put a chasm in front of the player, and they're like, "Oh no, what will you ever do? You will have to go through the like on this like small little bridge, whatever." And then the PC flies over it, right? Fly is accessible from like 5th level. But putting them in really like ludicrous situations like this gets better and better as you get up in levels. One of the things that I always keep in the back of my mind, like my my kind of cornerstone of the types of situations that PCs should find themselves in, are the recommended tiers by the DMG. Which is, I know it's not actually every 5 levels. There's actually like a weird staggering to it, but I think about it as every 5 levels. Of 1 to 5 is local heroes. 5 to 10 is regional heroes. 11 to 15 is world heroes. And I think like 16 to 20 is like multiverse heroes or something like that, or like planar heroes or something. I really try to keep that in mind. So they are right on the edge of regional and world heroes. So it's very appropriate to pit them against something that is a regional menace. Like, if this wasn't a bottle episode, I would, you know, maybe hype up a little bit more how dangerous the Rock is. And like, just have the Rock do every dirty trick in the book. Yeah, just sweep down, pick up one of them, and fly away. That's what I'd say. Like, I've never killed a hero, or I've never killed a player, but I do get like more and more deadly as it goes on. I put them into more and more ludicrous situations. I will have people start playing dirty fucking tricks on them. And the fun thing is, as you get to those higher leveled PCs, they always have ways out of it. Always. And if they don't have a way out of it, as long as you don't TPK them, a lot of times they have Revivify. Or they know someone with Revivify nearby. So I don't know. Yeah, this is, I think the Rock in this whole situation is a great challenge for a level 11 party that allows them to, you know, be floating across the scenery as flying cows. I think it's overrated. Fair enough. Different strokes for different folks. I'm liking this sequence right now. This like Rock fight. I had a massive brain fart. I was trying to figure out what CR had to do with having a strong personal computer. That's fair. No, I get that. Cover notes for a game where a level 11 party is on a fishing trip mission. We sure are regional heroes. Hey, look, man, if they're fighting, you know, probably not a Kraken, but if they're fighting, you know, a pirate gang that has been looting up and down the coast, you know, very Viking style, that is very regional heroes-esque. You know, like this, the Briarwoods are very much a regional threat. And could potentially, I think the Briarwoods actually are a very tentpole, like keystone, very, very exemplary, like level 11 villain. Like, they are a villain that is currently regional, but has aspirations of world villainy. Perfect for that transition between tiers 2 and 3. Like, when you're right on that borderline, you want to evolve with your villains into the next tier. So I think the Briarwoods are a very, very good villainous choice for this. It would be different if they were a vampire just like out in the fucking woods somewhere. It is way more fitting as a challenge for, level 11, level 12 PCs that they have a castle, that they have staff, that they have defenses. Like, that's much, much more regional world heroes. What Samuel is not saying is that on the fishing trip, they're going to catch Moby Dick on a fishing pole and have to fight a whale, or they end up getting Jonah'd. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's a shiny pike the alchemist wants, and they are hot. The whale's hot? If the whale's hot, then I get it. Oh, you mean the Briarwoods. The Briarwoods are hot. Wait, is CR level meant to signify at what level your party should be when you introduce them to combat it? Yes. Yes. So CR, the way that CR is meant to work is that if you have a CR 11 monster, that means that a group of 4 level 11s should be able to very standardly win. Like, they'll have to use a lot of resources, but you can be confident that they'll win. It's a very normal fight for them. Now that the CR calculations get a little weird when you have either more players or more enemy combatants, because generally with the action economy, whichever side has more combatants will just win. But CR is also supposed to be additive. So, like, if you had a party of, like, 4 level 10s, if you put them up against, there are no 2.5s, but if you put them up against 5 CR2s, the 5 CR2s will actually probably beat, or at least it'll be a pretty deadly fight against the group of 4 level 10s, because the CR2s add up to 10. So yeah, CR is theoretically supposed to be very simple. It's supposed to make balancing encounters on the fly very easy, but it's also so abstract as to sometimes be misleading. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's it. No, the Briarwoods. The whale looking hot with all that blubber. Yes, sir. The whale has a pike inside of it. Ooh, it's displaying it. It's got a little store inside.
It's too dangerous for most average folk to even attempt to climb or use for any good reason. The winds are high and powerful here at the tops as well. And you guys, as you're flying around, the wind's blowing across that, you kind of get pushed off your course a little bit here and there, but you still kind of keep up best as possible. You kind of leading the charge. Over about 5 minutes of searching through this mountain range, you sense that its movement eventually comes to a stop.
Okay.
It's the best.
No.
Wait, you sense that he came to a stop?
He came to a stop, a little bit ahead of us.
Let's go get him. Yeah, fuck it.
Did we all try to stealth in, or?
I'm a pterodactyl, so.
Yeah, let's go for the element of surprise. Well, technically, we're also counts.
Yes. And you guys cannot talk because you're actually in creature forms.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to stealth.
No.
Mountains are my favorite terrain.
They are. Do
One of them.
you want to go onto the mountain itself, or are you still flying amongst them?
Oh, I'll still fly.
So you would not get even.
Air is not
Air is not your favorite terrain.
Yeah, Sam. Xanathar's Guide to Everything does try. I don't think that's the one you're talking about, but Xanathar's did try to factor in the number of creatures a lot more, which I think was very good. Honestly, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, even though I don't love all of the content in the book, I think it is my what an ideal additional rule book would be. I like the content in Tasha's, but I think that it had some very big misses compared to Xanathar's. I wish Tasha's had been much more like Xanathar's in terms of what kind of content it had. And yeah, so if you don't have Xanathar's and you want to pick up a book that is not one of the core 3, heavily recommend. It's got something for everyone. It's got new subclasses, new spells, new feats. It has dungeon master stuff, downtime stuff, lot of really good dungeon master resources. Yeah, Xanathar's is great, but I am a full believer in the number of combatants is more has a massive effect. So normally, if I am looking to balance an encounter, I will consider that like a 4v4 where the CR adds up to their level is supposed to be an even fight. So if I want it to be more deadly, I just add more combatants and then make them all lower CR. I've also said, a lot of times I use the 1 in 3 rule because if you're using the 1 in not the 1 in 3, the 1 in 2, the 1 in 2 rule, where I have 1 higher CR monster and then 2 kind of lackey monsters that are lower CR. And if you balance that to the party's CR, if the party has 4 people, we're assuming, the party will always win because it's 3 versus 4, but it'll feel really nice. And it gives a good opportunity for AoE spells as well as single target spells because they have the 1 big target of hit points. So I like that a lot. And if I want to make a combat more challenging, a lot of times, I just add a combatant. So the more combatants up from 3, the harder the combat will be. So yeah. Xanathars and Tashas are the only reasons I don't see Wizards of the Coast as a complete joke. They've had some good other ones. I mean, Curse of Strahd is classic. I think Wild Beyond Witchlight was actually pretty underrated. Those are the ones that are coming to mind right now. Or instead, you could be cool and pick up Fizzbands times for an Oops All Dragons game. I mean, I think the reason that I'm talking about Xanathars is because it has fucking everything for everybody. But also, Oops All Dragons is fun. Time to play Dragons and Dragons and Dragons.
So everyone wishes to go ahead and roll stealth checks.
All of us?
All of you who wish to try and come at it from quiet.
Just do Dragons and Giants. Pick up Bigby's Guide to Giants and Fizzbands. A very themed campaign.
Okay.
Wow. How?
I'm not used to being flying, really.
It is
Oh, yes, also favorite terrain.
Okay,
Right.
5.
Are we flying anymore?
You guys are also flying, yeah.
Oh, shit, okay. No.
Okay.
21.
14.
Yeah,
28.
Yeah, so, guys falling behind Vex, many of you clumsily and some of you shouting after each other like, I think she sees it this way! And you're like, oh my god. You come around this one bend and you can see one of the larger mountainous spires that has a lot of trees and kind of green growth towards the top in certain places where the rock kind of juts out and gives a shelf for such greenery to grow outside of the sheer outside surface. You do see a couple of wings kind of enfold in against the moonlight in what looks to be an outcropping. And there are multiple layers of kind of rock shelves on the side of this mountain. On one of these outcroppings there appears to be some sort of a nest, a cluster of looks like actual like trees and pieces of wood that are all jammed in this giant nest that's just nestled against where the shadow and the moonlight kind of are fighting for some sort of visual on it. Big ass tree fortress.
Did we just find like a mama bird and baby birds?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna take out and train the babies. Yep.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah. We're gonna capture those babies and we're gonna train them.
It was a good idea. I like that idea.
Like Avatar?
Yes.
Me go in?
Yeah, yourself.
There's a giant fucking nest here. I can't get close to it.
It's like the Gith Yankee egg in Baldur's
I
Gate.
cast greater invisibility on myself and then follow.
Okay. You guys have 12 seconds before you all plummet.
Oh wait, no, I did that. Damn it. I forget we're still flying.
Oh yeah. What part of the flying part did you forget?
Oh, you probably landed already.
No, what? Are you guys going with Vex or are you all staying kind of back and she's
Are we gonna lose flying or do
Love that. Okay. This is something that I criticized Matt for at one point, where he was being, I thought, a little bit of a dick to Orion about the whole concentration thing. I think that is a much more appropriate and, chilled way to go about it. Of just saying, I cast greater invisibility. Okay, it'll be 12 seconds before you fall. And he's like, oh, wait, fuck, I forgot. I think that's much more relaxed. I think it's much more appropriate. Especially something I didn't talk about during that conversation is that, concentration's a new mechanic. This is still a new system. I know that he is bad. I know that he's been abusing it and that it has been a real point of contention and frustration, but it is still a new system for him. And he's using a homebrew item that then goes and messes with that system. So I feel for Orion a little bit on this specific topic, and I think that was a much better way for Matt to handle it than he has in the past. I can't not see Orion wearing a Shrek vest every time I look on screen. No. It looks sick. I definitely don't see that now. Shit, no.
The same stealth roll.
Are you casting greater invisibility?
Can we drop
you're fine.
seeming perchance?
Is it the same stealth roll or an additional stealth roll before?
No, this was your stealth roll in approaching,
Oh,
so.
well, I knew I rolled shitty, so what do I do?
You don't know you roll shitty, but just.
I'm going in.
Alright, so Vex and Grog, you kind of approach gliding cows, just drifting through the night sky. You guys.
Well, I'll approach because I have to keep an eye.
Yeah, so you guys all kind of.
Also,
keep close together to Tiberius as you come in, keeping much distance.
Did I just hear what I think I just heard? It took me a second to I think that was your stealth roll. Did I mishear that, or did that just take my brain a second to process?
Is it the same stealth roll or an additional stealth roll before?
No, this was your stealth roll in poaching, so.
Well, I mean, like, I knew I rolled shitty, so what did
You don't know you rolled shitty, but just...
I'm going in.
All right,
Yeah.
So, Rod, you can...
Okay. I mean, I get why Liam said that. I get that mentality. Your player, or sorry, not your player, your character has no fucking clue how you rolled. I mean, that is like positive metagaming of like, you need to ignore your meta knowledge actively. If you know that you got a shitty perception, if you know that you got a shitty stealth, your character does not know that. And they should barrel ahead, you know? So I'm glad that Matt kind of put the kibosh on that, and I do really encourage DMs to follow Matt's lead there of like, they do not know that they rolled. Their characters don't know that they rolled poorly and should not act on that information.
Approach.
Your stealth sucks. Cuckoo.
Gliding cows, just drifting through the night sky. You guys.
Well, I'll approach because I have to keep it nice.
Okay, yeah, so you guys all realize you kind of keep close together to Tiberius as you come in. Keeping too much distance will be a bad thing. You come upon the underneath portion of this outcropping. You can see within a quick glance. Go ahead and make a perception check, all of you guys. You who are coming up with this cluster.
3.
Do I get an advantage? We're in a mountain environment at all?
Damn it!
Actually, no, because you're seeing things on a mountain. I will give you advantage.
16.
Awesome, that was so much better.
12.
16. 13.
12.
So the highest was
16.
Oh, 13.
16. You got 3. As you guys all look up, it's very shadowy over here. It's hard to see. The moonlight's kind of in your eye a little bit, and the darkness is so pitched.
I think that's a super fair way to go about it, Sam. Like, especially if you find that your players really just can't get it, like they cannot get the hang of that like positive metagaming end, then I think that that's a totally valid way to go with it, of just saying like, yeah, like either we're going to take your passive or I'm going to roll on my side and you will have no idea what you rolled. I think that is totally fair because that kind of metagaming of like, I rolled shitty, so I'm not going to do something in game, can be really detrimental. It can be really, really, really detrimental. Also, the Triggerman Travis, yes, sir, I'm going in.
This stick of shadow is very dark and crushed. You make out in the nest the large bird creature has kind of folded its wings and is currently like kind of leaning down. And you see something in the nest that's kind of much smaller and moving up next to it.
But she's killing the
Killing the
farmers.
farmer's cows.
Maybe we can just transplant her. Maybe we can
To a
polymorph
wildlife
her.
preserve?
Maybe
And her babies?
capture her and move her away from town.
That seems complicated. Are they on the highest peak?
You can
or-
certainly
There's
try.
2 other levels above this. This one just kind of one of the largest outcroppings.
I'm gonna kind of swoop up over them, see if there's any boulders to drop.
Okay.
Also, I realized that we've been at 0.75. I did not mean to keep us at that. Once we get, I guess we're kind of still in combat, but I'm still gonna drop us out of it.
Looking over it, there are no loose rocks or boulders. In fact, because of the construction of these mountains, they're like solid spires that kind of jut up and then abruptly end. All the erosion that happens here appears to be gradual enough, and that's why the sides of the mountains are so smooth and unclimbable. It's very strange topography of these mountains.
Like a sheer peak, and they're kind of like nested on the side of it.
Yeah, it's a sheer peak that kind of rounds off at the very top, and there are little outcroppings kind of jut out in places as it goes down, but those are more towards the top. And as you go down further, as most of the erosion hits the mountain lower and lower, it kind of has carved off or destroyed most of what would have been previous outcroppings or smoothed them over.
How far away are we now?
You guys are probably a good, I'd say, 60 or 50 feet if you're trying to get up within range of your flight, right? What's the range on that?
Fly. Yeah.
Fly? Oh, here.
I got it.
Okay, so.
Oh no, there's no range on it. You just touch them.
Oh.
They're fine. Yeah. As long as you're concentrating, you're fine.
Okay. Good to know.
There you go.
So we're
You learned something
within,
there?
we're within 60 feet?
You guys are keeping a little more of a distance on here. However, at this point, as you guys are kind of all kind of encroaching and scanling's gone overhead, a voice rings out against the darkness. Flying cows? Really? I care not for this insolence. If you've come to mock me or fight me, do it now. Or leave this creature alone.
What? Where are you? Who are you? Who's yelling?
Arcana check of 17 of my surroundings, where it's coming from.
What?
Try to perceive where it's coming from.
Okay, Arcana check.
What?
There's nothing.
Okay, that's ooh boy, that's a tick. Huh? God, why Arcana? You're making so many assumptions with that thing that doesn't even make sense to me.
Arcane nature. It's not omnipresent or coming from any place. There is just a direct coming from the outcropping or nest area.
Well, that's good.
There's nothing arcane in nature to it. It's in the shadow. You can't really see it from this distance.
Is it in front of us, to the side of us? Is it coming from where the bird is?
It's coming from where the bird is.
He's controlling it? He's controlling it.
I fly over as an eagle.
Okay.
You still look like a cow eagle.
Can we drop seeming?
It's not under your control, and you can't talk to it.
I yell out, "You've been stealing the farmer's livestock. Give us a reason not to kill you."
Diplomacy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, moo.
I'll sound like a cat.
Okay, you guys are all keeping your distance from it?
Yeah.
The voice comes out again.
Your nature confuses me, and your words seem ill-informed. If you're not going to come to speak of discourse, I'm going to assume that you're my enemy.
Well, and then as he's saying that, I'll approach.
So Tiberius cow goes.
And as I approach the
Can we
thing,
shake
I'm
off
going
the
to dispel magic.
Even if he wants to.
Okay, cool.
So you're gonna-
Imagine this. I need you to go ahead, just for the sake of this.
You can't choose which magic to dispel. You're gonna dispel fly too?
Yeah, I'll consider contested because you're allies in this thing. So you land. Tiberius' form shimmers and returns back to that of a dragonborn.
Oh, because he's landing. Okay. Huh. Wait. If he's dispelling magic on himself, he's the one that's concentrating on fly. I don't know. Can you not choose a single effect to dispel? I don't believe so. I believe it just dispels all magic affecting the entity. Let's see. Let me rules lawyer this for myself. Yeah, it's any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher, make an ability check. You don't get to choose. Dispel is an object or effect. Yeah. So well no, you can choose one creature. So he's casting it on himself, but then he has to dispel every spell affecting himself. So it would definitely dispel the fly on himself, but I don't know if it would end his concentration on everyone else's fly. It just says every spell ends. So I would assume that fly would end at that point. Yeah. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. It doesn't say the effect ends or anything. It's the spell. So all of them are dropping out of the sky. Oh, that is scarier than I thought. I thought I could target a single effect. Well, that's dumb. This is why I've only seen DMs allow you to choose. I mean, look, I would honestly, I don't know that it's that dumb. If you asked me to choose at my table, I might let you for like an Arcana check. But, I mean, it's a 3rd level spell. It's pretty fucking low for everything it can do. I mean, it can theoretically dispel a fucking 9th level spell, like, no problem. A 3rd level spell can just tick, like, just take off Force Cage. You know, like, it's a good ass spell. I don't know that it needs to be more flexible, in my humble opinion. He said myself, yeah. Since it says you can choose an effect as the target, I would have said there was only one effect on that target. I mean, since he said I'm casting it on me, I'm dispelling magic on me. If he had said I'm dispelling the seeming on myself, maybe it's a magical effect within range. Maybe you could target that. But if you're dispelling all of the magic on you, that's everything. So now I want to do a bait magic trap where you get hasted, then hit with a glyph of warding, dispel magic to stun the hasted person. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, dude, now you're thinking with portals. That's a great trap. I love that shit. That's like a monkey's paw type trap. You could do like that in like a dungeon themed around like a devil or a genie, like a wish granter type monster. That'd be a dope trap. One cast of dispel, one effect, but he said myself, so all magic on him. Essentially, that's the way I would say that, Mustang. And I would also say that for you to be able to target the magical effect, you have to be able to perceive it. In this case, he can perceive both of the effects. He can perceive both the fly and the seeming. So I would say he could. I think that's a good point, Hans, is that he could target the effect specifically, which would essentially allow him, but you wouldn't be able to. So here's the caveat to that. If you had like 3 spells affecting you at the time, you would only be able to pick 1 or all of them. You wouldn't be able to pick 2 out of the 3. But I think that's fair. You can either pick 1 or all of them as long as the 1 is able to be actively like perceived. That's what he said, but I think not what he intended. Well, yeah, not what he intended. Yeah, fair enough. Does Matt want to do everyone's going to fall again to Orion on a debatable ruling? True. I want to clarify everything. If I'm Matt in this scenario, I'm being like, hey, you mean that you just like want to dispel the seeming, right? Not the fly, right? Or honestly, I'm doing what Matt did, and I'm just trucking along, as to not break the flow. So I think that, we can rules lawyer this and be like, ha, Orion's wrong. But I'm probably not handling it different at all, or at least not substantially different from how Matt handled it.
And you stand there on the precipice. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
What was that, 11?
Okay. It's hard to make out the details.
Speaking of trying to make sure that, players' intentions are maintained. Yeah.
The voice is definitely coming from the nest. You see there is something vaguely humanoid, but it's hard to make out the shape at this distance with this low light, especially since you are a dark vision gifted entity. However it is, it's close to this bird creature.
I'm going to say, is this big bird thing asleep?
You will not harm this creature, poachers!
I'm not trying to harm it at all. I'm just thinking it's fine. We can talk. I can't see anything, and I wanted to cast a light so I could see something, but I didn't want to hurt your bird's eyes, right?
You can see the bird's kind of moving, and it's like it's kind of looking towards your direction, and it's kind of like...
Can I make an
so it's awake.
It's awake, and it looks like it's hurt. And it's like...
You come here, masqueraded as whatever manner of beasts you are.
Cows.
After tormenting and severely wounding this beautiful creature.
We didn't do anything to the creature. This creature was stealing the farmer's cows, and so the farmers were saying you're taking our livestock, which is hurting the farm, and we came to help them, and we posed as cows, and then the bird took...
While he's blithering, can I make an additional cow stealth check?
To
come up behind the guy. Near him, not even near him, just get a better vantage.
Go for it and make it with a disadvantage.
Okay, I am glad that Matt is pushing back. Liam is really is towing the line poorly on these stealth checks. He's being very, very gamey about it, and not like war gamey. I don't mean like that, but it's like checks are because you're actively doing something. If you want to be like, I want to hide, or I want to sneak up behind him, or whatever, right? You then roll stealth. You don't just roll stealth just to have it. It is all related to something that you are doing, and you should describe the thing you're doing first, and then the DM might ask for a stealth check. Vax is gonna keen in the dude. I mean, seems like it might be.
Just because...
Does that cancel out with my advantage for my cloak?
Yes.
A cow in a cloak.
You are a flying cow in the moonlight against an individual that is very aware of your presence. So,
shut up, baby, I know it. I know it. That is good. That is, when... So,
that's 31.
Yeah, 31.
I will also say, part of the reason that I am that I talk about my pet peeve of like players asking, can I make X check? I think you will really, really find really, really often that like players are going to really rely on the checks that they are best at. Like Vax is going to so heavily rely on his stealth. And fair Fox in this situation, I would have asked him to roll stealth too. Like, I'm not saying that this situation is an example where I wouldn't, but if your players get into a habit of, like Orion, just being like, I rolled Arcana, it's like, bitch, what for? There's nothing magical going on here. If you want to try and determine if something is magical, I might not ask for Arcana. I might ask for some other check, investigation, insight, perception. Like, all of these things are things that I might ask you for. And as a DM, sometimes I'm going to purposefully target the things that you're good at. And sometimes if it could go one way or another and you've been having a pretty good fucking day, I might challenge you. Like if in my head, I'm like, okay, this check could maybe be a perception, maybe be an insight. I might try to engage with some dramatic tension by choosing the one that you're worse at. And insight and perception is maybe a bad example because then it's like you don't learn the information. That's kind of lame. But a better example is like athletics versus acrobatics. I think a lot of times they are not interchangeable at all, but there is the occasional situation where you could kind of choose either. And sometimes I will offer my player choice. I'll say athletics or acrobatics, whichever's higher. Sometimes I'll say two of them and I'll say whichever's lower. And sometimes I will pick one back-end targeted to either highlight this very, very good skill, or challenge them a little bit. So all of that those are all levers in the DM's toolkit to make the scene more dramatic, to challenge you, to introduce obstacles. And when you choose the check for yourself, it makes that a lot harder. The DM then has to like recalculate DCs in his head if he still wants to do all that. So, and I mean, at the end of the day, it isn't raw. The rogue's fatigue syndrome, you can only go so long without using that reliable talent before you start looking for anything to roll on. Yeah. Also, yeah, 31, he's not getting perceived.
Stealthily cow your way up to the side of this precipice, seemingly unnoticed.
Yeah.
You getting a view of this creature, now you can see this nest is a cluster of driftwood and chunks of shipwreck and carts and wagon wheels and whatever pieces of wood have been scavenged from different time periods. Some are weathered, some are more fresh, and trees, whole trees that are broken and shredded have all been cobbled together to make this nest. In the center of this, I'm gonna take the intensity down on this a little bit. You see there up against this bird, and the bird itself is like twitching and looks like it's hurt, not like deeply hurt, but hurt. You see a small humanoid, pretty small, like Scanlan small. Hard to make out details, but it is currently in the process of doing a repeated hand motion and then touching, and hand motion and then touching. And you've seen this motion before, this is touching the bird. There is a perpetual string of cure wounds being applied to this bird.
I also approach and come out of my eagle form.
Light. Where are you landing somewhere?
Next to Tiberius.
But I'm gonna block it with my hand, so it's not gonna blind the bird.
As the light picks up, you can see the bird kind of moves away for a second and starts to like flap its wings instinctually. And once again, like seeing it up close, this bird is really big. The human entity becomes immediately visible, and it is a gnome. You can see he's dressed in hides and roughly crafted leather and furs. He has tousled, greasy black hair that hangs past his shoulders, covering a bedraggled and bearded face. He's holding up his arm and looks thin, and covering the light. And he's like, "You!"
Sorry, I tried to not blind you. It was just very dark. I'm sorry. Hello. You know harm.
The gnome kind of slams this small kind of wooden, for lack of a term, like a small staff or cane, slams into the ground with a foot stomp, and you can see the gnome's entire body suddenly begin to shift and change into this dark, kind of gnarled-looking hard surface. Like the entire body becomes.
Oh, I whack him in the back of the head.
No, don't dark skin. It's just dark skin. It's just defense.
No. All right, so you cow stealth up to the side of this guy.
Liam.
All right, go ahead and make an attack.
I pause. I pause.
What? No.
Okay. You are currently now like crouched right behind the edge of this nest, and you can't actually see the guy anymore because you kind of, in order to get up there, you've come underneath to stay hidden, and you're just there behind.
Can I see that?
Man,
No. Go ahead and roll.
that is so hard. That is so hard to, like, but I will say, I do have the general principle that things can be retconned until dice hit table. The moment a die is rolled, there is no going back. You cannot undo what you have done. Unless you weren't supposed to roll. But yeah, they definitely, they really guilted him into changing his mind. Which, to be fair, I outwardly said, "Aw, Liam." So I would have been part of it, but that was close. I'm not loving. I feel like Liam is really really antsy right now, and I don't know if it's a time thing. Like maybe he wants to like get the session over with. Like he's like, oh man, meta wise, like we really just need to like fight these things and like get done. I don't want to, waste a bunch of time talking to them and then have to fight them. I don't know what his deal is, but he feels very antsy.
Perception check. It's higher than a 31.
Have a little bit of
Is it higher
patience.
than a 31?
No.
No, it's a 23.
You have no idea where Vax is.
I'm way up above them still.
You're
Right?
just like.
Do I see anything?
No, actually, you see there's another section above there. It looks like there's nothing else of interest other than like some growth, a few bushes, and some vines that hang down the side of some of these
Somebody
platforms.
talk to him before I kill this
I,
fucking bird.
I land beside
I am
Tiberius.
talking to him.
I land beside Tiberius and come out of eagle
Which she said a while ago.
form. Tiberius, will you please dispel this cow form from me? Please? Please? Thank you.
And with that, you cast spell magic, and Keyleth's form reverts that to Keyleth, normal Keyleth, non-cow Keyleth. The gnome character now has like the staff in the back and has the hand in front. And he's like,
Come, friend.
You a druid. I'm also a druid.
Okay, that annoyed me. That annoyed me a little bit for like a very specific reason. Like, again, I talk about this a lot. Didn't feel like Tiberius. Why would Tiberius be annoyed that Keyleth is there and needs to have Dispel Magic cast on her? Like, I guess it's a 3rd level spell slot. He's annoyed at the waste of resources, but he didn't ask. Like, if he was really worried about wasting resources, they would just go ask Scanlan about it, Like, so him being, like, fine just feels more like Orion losing the spotlight than, Marisha, or than Tiberius being annoyed. Tibbs loves the princess. Good observation. Yeah, and also Tibbs loves the princess. Like, why is he annoyed at all this? So that's, I don't know. Weird moment. Very like, oops, that was Orion, not Tiberius moment.
I think our goals might be in line.
Really?
It's okay. What's her name?
This creature has no name to it yet. I, myself, am a protector of the wild, as you claim to be as well. I have no tribe but the trees around me. I hear the whisper of the wind and it calls for justice.
I can relate to that.
Then why do you follow? Why do you insist on harming this
Because
creature?
we were seeking justice for other people.
What? For the civilized folk of the city? You should know more than most. They sit there, taking beautiful creatures of nature, making them fat and formless and worth nothing, and to slaughter them without life and purpose to their existence.
I know.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I think this is a good moral quandary to put them in. This all goes back to, like, their motivations as these very powerful beings that really, like, in order to, like, subsist just in, like, general life, like, they could all just chill in Greyskull, and, like, Keyleth could cast Goodberry, and, like, they could just, like, hang out for the rest of their lives. But they don't. So they have to have goals and ambitions. And if you are doing things, you have to have a moral code. And so now they have chosen to shack up in Amon. They have chosen to, defend the civilized people. But Keyleth's a druid. She doesn't need to farm. Like, the people in the city need farming to sustain themselves. They need farming. They need ranching. But none of the party does. Like, no one in this party needs those farms, needs those cows in order to survive. Like, it's not like if the farms continue to get ravaged by the rock, that will have an actually negative impact on Vox Machina other than their reputation. So now, this druid is going to put the screws to them, is going to say, hey, you're going to kill this creature just because it is like doing its natural shit, right? This is like natural circle of life type shit. You're going to kill it because it's harming the economy? Like, And, like, they don't need the Amon economy. They don't need the cows. They also don't need the rock. So this is, like, a purely moral question to Vox Machina. There is not, like, an objective thing or, like, a thing that they need in this scenario. This is, what is your morality? Straight up. Because they could kill this thing, easy peasy. They could heal it. They could protect it, easy peasy. Both are super easy for them. They'll just have to choose, which is a great position to put them in, especially as we're getting, again, regional world heroes. You put them into a challenge, and then you give them a moral quandary that maybe has a challenge on the other side, depending on what they do. Keyleth, when was the last time you helped the environment? Not that I've seen, that's fair. But also they haven't done too much in the environment so far. Makes all the sense in the world that the druid would negotiate with the druid. Yeah, 1000%, Ed. Yeah. The economy is in shambles since the 1008 keep crisis. Yeah. This is 100% Orion wanting to be the face. Yeah, it's something that I am actually currently struggling with in my current campaign. I obviously DM, and then in the other games that I play, I normally have a high charisma. Like, no matter what class I play, obviously Warlock main have to have a high charisma, but I normally wind up being the face because I'm a DM and a theater kid and a fucking streamer. Of course I end up being the face. But in my most recent game that I'm playing in, I designed a character that had low charisma for the first time. And you have to, like, onboard, like, hey, don't talk as much. In this most recent game that we just played, I literally said out loud, I'm gonna let you take this one. Every time I talk, it goes bad. Because I wanted the other players to know that I was gonna shut the fuck up a little bit this session, and I still struggled. So I get where Orion is coming from, but dude, you have to sit down and shut up. You're not the face. You're not. Like, just let other people do it for a sec. Well, why would Dispelling Fly matter if he's the main character? Cutscenes are one-on-one. You're so right. You're so true and based, Samuel.
The purpose of their existence is to keep those other people alive, and the cows in them.
Why is it not the same with this creature? If they cannot guard their livestock, why is it not food for this thing as well? It is the natural life cycle that they've removed themselves from.
When one has an establishment, when one grows its own crop, and one steals something, it is considered a crime.
Well, when one is not part of that civilization, but the civilization of the world as a whole, which requires hunting for what keeps you alive, perhaps that does not sink or hang on my conscience.
That's a fair point.
Not let this escalate. Okay?
I'm fine.
What is your name?
I was once called Byron.
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 But I've not heard my name, nor spoken words for many years.
Would you not like to be called Byron, or would you like something else like B-Roy, or like B-Man? No. My name's Tiberius Roman from Jeronia. This is my friend Keyleth, who's also a druid, and we also have a friend who is a gnome, sing songs and whatnot.
The bird, now looking of much better health than it was when it arrived, now kind of flutters its wings out like a stretching motion, and as its head kind of glides down and looks right towards you, this giant beak that looks like it can snap you in two with a single bite.
I reach up to it and just reach out to pet its beak.
I'm going to ask you to make an animal handling check on this, just to see where this goes.
Okay.
I gently start swooping down to check on my friend.
19.
All right. The large bird-type creature retracts from your attempted touch and begins to rear back into the nest in a defensive position. Doesn't bite your hand off.
I just kneel. Down a bit. Produce a few good berries. Reach out.
Bye, Keyleth. This is how we lose one of our members. Feeding a bird.
The creature kind of like leans forward, and the giant bird, you can see its dark black eyes kind of staring at you. Each eye probably about the size of your torso. As the giant beak comes down, you can see the moonlight kind of gliding off the smooth exterior of the dark black beak. It kind of smells, and you take 27 points of piercing damage as the animal takes the good berries and almost your entire hand with it as well. That size, it's hard to be gentle.
It's okay.
Being friendly.
It's all right.
So you retract your hand, which is now
essentially, in many ways, bones are broken. It feels like there's blood streaming down the side of your hand, and like drip, 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 drip.
It's a good girl.
Swallows.
Good girl.
Is it a good girl?
I'm feeding a tiny snack to Lockheed.
I turn back to Byron.
Shut the fuck up, alright.
And say, ow.
Yeah, they go, that hurt. Now, please listen to me. Please listen to me. We did come here to kill giant creature,
I had assumed.
but upon seeing the situation, upon approach, realized the situation, and decided amongst all of us that we did not want to bring such a great creature to its death.
Scanlan, you've landed by now. Pterodactyl. A cow-looking pterodactyl.
Actually, it's true. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm gonna aid her too.
All I've seen so far is Keyleth's bloody hand.
Are you going to aid her? Are you gonna aid her? How you doing that? Bro, dude, I'm going to aid her too. Even on the, if he was like, I'm going to use, can I use the help action, DM? We're not in combat. So there's nothing saying if I can or cannot use the help action here. So I need to ask you, DM. Like, dude. And even then, sometimes a lot of times with help, I ask them to describe how they're helping. With my players, it's more of a flavor thing. Like, they don't need me, like, looking over their shoulder to stop them from doing that shit. But I think it's important for the help to make sense in the scenario. Oh, man. His name is Pinky. We found him at the river. He don't bite. She doesn't need a leash. To be fair, many of them do the auto help call out, but get better at may I assist. I actually don't think I can remember the last time I've heard one of them say, like, I'm helping. I do know that it's happened. Like, you say that, and I'm like, I remember that happening, but it is, like, less than once an episode. If that. I can't remember the last time they were like, I'm helping. And a lot of times Matt will slap him down, which, to be fair, I guess he's not slapping down Orion in this case, so it must be okay, but also, what if he just doesn't fucking hear it? I don't know, man. I don't know. Ugh.
Any total.
You have advantage on this because Tiberius is aiding you in this conversation.
And I guess he explicitly allows it there, so it's fine, but, oh, man. It's just it's an extension of, like, rolling without asking.
Okay. All right. He looks at you. Well, shall you leave us then?
Under one condition.
There's always a condition. You call yourself a druid, yet you speak like the civilized folk. I get the feeling that perhaps your connection to nature has not been tended to for some time.
No, she really knows her stuff. I mean, we just got this fire.
Just because one can appreciate nature does not mean that one cannot also appreciate humanity.
Well, this beautiful creature is the only surviving young of a clutch, bred by a majestic rock high in the Cliffkeep Mountains. Its mother now lies dead, slain by the brutal giants that wander those peaks.
Giants.
This youngin is all that remains of that clutch and memory of that blessed entity.
That's a youngin?
Whoa.
This is a young one.
Oh,
what up, this dude? You have
this
missed
new
quite a
home
bit.
serves us well. Abundance of feed, lack of large predatory creatures. I believe this is where we'll stay.
Question. If this is a young, adolescent creature, what do you think of the destruction it could cause once it reaches full adulthood? Are you okay with having that on your conscience? This creature could result in the lives of many. If you just relocate out of town, it's a few miles. Say like 50 or 100 or so, because this thing's really damn big, so I'm sure it's got a pretty big... Yeah, you know what I mean?
Or just the other way, like...
I will help you. I will personally come with you and tend to their safety and make sure that their location is proper and safe and handled with respect. And then you will be out of the harms of poachers. You can live off the land and you can be free and alone.
Do you think we came straight to this mountain range? Do you think this is the first nest we've constructed? Me and this lone survivor have scoured the length of this side of Caldore. This, as far as I can see, is the safest. It's the most ignored by nearby civilization.
Listen.
I'm gonna drop.
If we.
I'm gonna drop seeming and also drop my form.
Okay, all of you now.
Pterodactyl.
Your forms change, and as this happens mid-sentence, it's noticed immediately by the gnome druid who's like.
Yes, that is correct. And listen, We are being nice. Don't think that we will be the first. You will have more people come and hunt you and kill this as this beast continues. How long do you think you can survive waves of mercenaries coming to try and kill this? We are the nice ones. I suggest you heed our warning, take our help, and save the life of you and your creature in the long run.
Well,
You have yet to
intimidation.
provide a suitable
That's
alternative.
also fair.
Oh, I might have an idea.
Keeper of the night.
There is an alternative.
Oh.
Tiberius can tell you of that alternative.
See, your creature is rather large and powerful, yes, and you have a rather strong bond with it, which is quite unique with such a unique-looking creature.
I was setting you up for an
Where can
awesome
they go?
one-liner,
Where
man.
can
You were
they
supposed to be
go?
like, the other option is death.
Ask him if he's considered Whitestone.
No.
Yeah.
A vampire rock?
Well, I guess there's a couple of options, really. There's this town, Whitestone, that's pretty great and has a lot of livestock that this creature can just consume.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No.
Go ahead and
That's
make a
all-
deception check.
That is a 24.
Whitestone.
No,
Or
no.
is it Whitestone?
No.
Wait, no, hang on. No. This is getting out of control already. I will not let you all do this. No, not today. You guys have caused enough problems. We are not going to push this
Then
creature
fucking
off on
figure
other
out
people.
where to-
I'm trying, all right? I'm working on it.
With the other...
I don't want to push this problem off on a town that's already being held hostage by vampires. That fucking sucks. That's double shitting on them.
Well, the other option was, like I was saying, is perhaps you can form a kind of agreement with him on. I'm sure it would rather pay in livestock rather
Ooh,
for the protection
tell him.
of you, such a powerful druid, over at least a section of the land, in exchange for free food for your friend. And perhaps that could be...
Dragonman.
Yes, Tiberius.
Are adorably naive.
That's pretty sound
Of
my
the
mother.
ways of men and those that lie and deceive. I have yet to have met any civilized people who have kept their word. And it came to creatures like this.
Can I come forward? All right. What about Vasselheim? Not in the city, but like outside of it. There's plentiful forests, tons of giant creatures that can feed on.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
That actually is fairly true.
Those townspeople have a dazzling
There's
problem.
so
with
many
keeping
monsters
these
out there.
monsters
They don't hunt them all because there's like
Easy
too
food
many.
for it. That's a wonderful idea, Vex. Yes. And that's 100% true.
Persuasion check.
I'll aim her as well.
I'll say evaded one person makes the speed of search check.
This is a
He really doesn't trust you.
21.
Give him a
Oh, not bad, not bad.
21?
21?
Natural 20.
Natural 20 what?
Then as a natural 20, you know that's good for you. That's the best place you can go.
Yeah, I agree with Laura. What's the... yeah, also, I'll aid her as well. But, like, what is Nat 20 insight? Insight of what? That she's telling the truth? Like, that's... Persuasion should not be contested. Like, what are you rolling for? Fear? Like... I mean, I agree with Laura. Like, if you rolled a nat 20, you know that I'm telling the truth. Like, if this was deception, that'd be one thing. If this was intimidation, that'd be another. But persuasion? Come on.
You can see the wisdom in my persuasion.
Yes, it's true, though. I mean, it's just feed walking all around for it.
Please listen to us. We're only trying to help.
Is there a young creature around here? I mean, besides the...
No, he's
Looking about, you can see no. This nest is.
But there's no babies in it.
No.
This is the young. This
Please
bird is
believe
like
me.
the adolescent.
I let this thing almost take my hand off, and I'm still standing here fairly cogently talking to you. So please take that as a sign of honesty.
But where are we
I go
sending
put my
them?
hand on her back and cast Cure Wounds because I got that spell now, yo.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
What? Where are we telling them to go?
Vasselheim.
Vasselheim?
Mm-hmm.
All
Listen,
right.
she's right. And we have friends in Vasselheim. We can contact the Slayer's Take. We're a part
I mean, I would generally say, Samuel, and we've talked about this. This is an old topic, but I haven't talked about it in a while. The concept of like more rolling, less rolling, high chaos, low chaos, whatever. But I would generally say that like the amount of trust would be represented by a DC. Like the more that you have contested rolls at your table, whatever those contested rolls may be, the more random things are going to be. The higher the state of chaos that you're going to have. Impossible things are going to be more possible, and trivial things are going to be more difficult. It will just be a much wider range. But if you want a lower chaos state, you can either just have the roleplay handle it all, or go somewhere in between. And if you do want to have a roll persuasion, you just bake that into the DC. Like, if he doesn't trust them, it's a higher DC on the persuasion. Like, that's generally the thing that difficulty checks are meant to handle. So, I mean, even if that was like a 20 persuasion check, I mean, that's a high fucking check, dude, especially if he doesn't trust them. I don't know. we are all high chaos Andes. I mean, fair enough, man. It's high chaos, high drama. One of my issues with high chaos is that it can feel like the actual like direct choices that you make matter less because the chaos state is such that no matter what you do, you kind of just have a chance of like succeeding or failing. Like kind of whatever choice you make, like it does matter. You're increasing probabilities with the things that you choose to do. But when you have such a high chaos state, it can lead to a sense of futility. And I think that's exactly what would happen here. If she rolls super high on a persuasion, and then there's something that is contesting it, because I don't even know what it would be. It's not like a check. It's just a thing. And that thing is a nat 20. It's like, what does that mean? Like that feels a little futile. That doesn't feel very good, in my opinion. We can contact the Slayer's Take. Sounds like people who might hunt this thing down for later to me. I mean, true. I mean, well, to be fair, he doesn't know what the Slayer's Take are. But even with that, Hans, I would work that into the DC. Like, the DC can handle a lot here, and you can have it be gradient. You know, you can have it be a couple of different milestones, but I would work that all into the DC. More Than Fair was just thinking of how an NPC would insight overall against either deception versus persuasion, because the NPC can't see which one is being rolled. It's just words. That is true. That is a good point. The way that I generally think of insight isn't something they're like actively choosing to do. It is like, and this is just the way that I interpret it. So I think that your interpretation is very fair, Samuel. I think that's a totally fair way to interpret that. The way that I generally think about insight is that it's not something that an NPC, like when you're doing like a deception contested with insight, which by the way, I don't generally do. I generally have it be a DC. But if you are, I don't think of the insight as like an active thing that the NPC is doing. The NPC is not actively like looking through their lies, because you're right, they have no idea what is a lie, what isn't. That insight check is to represent what is theoretically a passive insight score. Especially if they don't like know that they're being lied to. I don't know. But to be fair, to your point, in this situation where he doesn't trust them, he might be actively looking for lies. Maybe it does make sense that he rolls insight, and his insight check tells him that she's persuading rather than deceiving. That is a possible, very fair interpretation of this. I would still bake it all into the DC, but that is a very fair, again, kind of high chaos, high rolling way to interpret this scene. I think that's totally fair. That is why a contested roll is the correct choice in this situation. I still wouldn't call it the correct choice. I would still bake it into the DC personally. But I do think that it is a valid choice. Yeah. I still think it comes down to a DC, and even in this what we're talking about with like this insight versus whatever, it's not even really a contested roll. It is, she is making a persuasion against the DC, and he is just separately making an insight. So their rolls don't actually have anything to do with each other. It's more just his knowledge on whether or not she's lying, I guess. I still think it comes down to a DC to I still think it comes down to a DC avoids the, well, my roll was destroyed by a swinging nat 20, so I agree with the take of stability with DC versus chaos with roll. Yeah, and that is the overall kind of core difference here, which is okay. Like, sometimes swinginess is desired. We've talked about that a lot. At Matt's table, he likes, I don't want to, like, this sounds derogatory, but he likes the more, like, random results. And, like, that can be okay. That can be very dramatic. And I think that Matt is very good at using drama well. So I think it really works for his table. but it is certainly that. It is very very high chaos, because I don't know, in this situation, if you rolled really high persuade and then he just thought you were lying instead, feels weird. It is reasonable. I want to be clear. That's a valid interpretation of like how a social interaction could go, but it feels a little weird to me. I don't know that I like it. This is fully coming down to not even necessarily advice territory, but like personal preference. That doesn't feel good to me.
Part of their guild, we can tell them that you're coming. They will not bother you. We can tell them that they are not allowed to take out a contract.
Bring up contracts, Caleb. Maybe just go and bring it up.
Because they don't have mercenaries out there. It has to be like approved. So it's really good. It's
And
better
what's
for
to
you.
stop them from hunting down a majestic creature as rare as this one?
Trust me.
You, who live here in Amon?
No, us who are members of the guild.
We're members
So
of the
you
guild.
also are monster slayers, who come here under the guys to slay this monster.
No, not here. Other places that we're forced to do it. But still we're members and we can take advantage of our membership.
Too much.
Can we kill this thing now?
No.
You guys are doing awesome.
Yep.
I feel like I've done pretty damn good.
Listen, listen. Earlier.
Come on, man. I'm so good.
Listen, and I start speaking in gnome to him.
Oh yeah, do that.
Listen, earlier you said that this place was perfect. It was safe. There were no large predators. Well, you're looking at 6 large predators, and we'll keep hunting you down and hunting your beast down until you get out of here. So this is your one and only warning. You must leave, and you must leave now. We're giving you a good choice, a safe choice, and we can help you get there and be safe there. But if you don't listen to us, we'll start killing.
Makes persuasion roll.
How many fucking persuasion rolls is this?
I would say intimidation personally, but fair enough. And also, I kind of agree with Marisha. Like, I love that speech from Scanlan. That was so sick. Agreed, SSH. Go, Scanlan. Like, that was a very sick, dope speech. And sometimes, as a DM, you need to know when to give it up. You need to know when to give up the ghost. Do they succeed or do they fail? Stop stretching it out. Because it's like, I don't know how many times they've rolled against him in this dialogue, but one of the issues with D&D is that I don't want to say the social pillar is underdeveloped, but the social pillar is underdeveloped. And there is not, like, if you play other games that are more focused on socialization, a lot of times they'll have push and pull, they'll have meters, they'll have clocks, they'll have representations of how well you've convinced someone, how well you've lied to them, if you're like breaking their will down, whatever. Like they have like representations so that players can see the progress that they're making. Part of the thing with D&D is that you don't have any of that shit. So the more checks you ask them to make, the more you put them into a feudal state of mind because they don't know what's happening. They don't know if they are making progress. It feels hopeless, even if they are one check away. So like, and it is encapsulated right here. How many fucking persuasion rolls does this asshole need? What it feels like to me watching it is until they succeed, but I don't even know because it feels like Laura pretty fucking well succeeded. So I don't know. And the players don't know. And that can lead to a very frustrating social encounter. Like, I'm all about, like, I don't want there to be, like, snap decisions. I want the players to be able to work through a conversation, but you need to give them a sense of progression. So right there, if he's, like, too much talk, you need to give them an ultimatum. Because right now, it just feels like he's stalling, which is weird. Like, he would not be stalling in this situation. Like, who is he stalling for? Unless that's a reveal that he's actually stalling for someone, in which case, good job. But I don't think that's what's happening. And so he now needs to give them an ultimatum, like, leave. Leave now. This is too much talk. City man, city girl, y'all need to leave. And then maybe they have one more chance, and then it kicks off. But now that you've given them this ultimatum, essentially this threat from the NPC, they know that they're at the last one. Because there's no mechanic to show them progression, you have to show it within the narration. It can't feel like they're just stuck and that their actions are not having an effect, that they're just hitting up against a brick wall. eventually the conversation needs to end one way or the other, and you should foreshadow that the conversation's about to end. Like, be like, you know, like, don't say to the players, hey, this is your last chance, but say that within the fiction of like the person can be like, too much talk, you guys are fucking lying, get out of here. And he doesn't attack yet, but he just tells them to get out. And then they can make the choice, you know, Scanlan can make his nice speech, and then they can either start combat or he fully comes over to their side at that point. Like, you need to eventually break it down to that point. And if it's not broken down after this one, that is going to be terrible. I think Matt will give a little insight on his plan. Okay, let's see.
Persuasion?
This is essentially a conversational skill challenge. So every success and failure leads towards where the conversation is going to end.
32.
Okay, yes, you need to... This conversation cannot end more than two ways. I love me some branching trees. I love me some, you know, lots and lots of options. This conversation is ending with they die or they relocate, which Scanlan just very well elucidated. Like, I understand what Matt is going for here, but you need to make that much more apparent within the fictional dialogue. Even something as simple as, like, he seems to be coming to your side, but he's still nervous. Something as simple as that, just to give them a feeling of progress through this conversation.
Why didn't we leave?
He gives you a look, very intense, looking into your very essence type stare. His little beady gnomish eyes meeting yours.
You are right, SSH. I guess the gnome could give up the bird. Somehow I don't see that one happening regardless of their skill checks.
If we're going to make this journey to where you say this Vasselheim is, how far is it?
Several days' journey.
It's just across the water. You can fly, no problem over it.
Across the sea?
No.
Yeah.
Is that
Yes.
north?
It's
Is that
across the
north?
sea.
We can draw you a map. We can give you provisions. We'll even make sure that the farmers provide you with a few pieces of livestock to chow down on before the journey.
A parting gift.
Parting gift to fuel up.
To be fair, Hans, I think that is a theoretical situation that is reasonable to think about as a player, but they've already addressed that, and he flat out said no. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know that he has that much control over the rock is the issue. Like, maybe that is a situation. Any way you slice it, I still land on there needs to be more display of the progress. Suggestion, modify memory him into agreeing. I mean, that's not even a skill check thing at that point. Like, that, you just go and do that, you know?
For the big ride. We can give you papers to hand to the Slayer's Take that will ensure that you'll be treated fairly.
I'll take out my scroll subscription and start writing a note. Okay. Because I left one over there.
He looks back towards Keyleth, looks back at Scanlan, looks back at Keyleth, looks up at the bird.
Please. We really don't need another death on our conscience today.
Then, looks like we don't have much of a choice, do we?
Unless it's a honey badger.
If you can assure us enough food to get across on this journey, we'll make our way towards this Vasselheim, and I pray on the solidarity between our kin and our kin that you speak the truth that resonates this moment. Because if it does not, may the fall of this entity and myself weigh on your conscience.
I'll flip over the note that I'm writing to him, and then I trigger it as he's reading it. That sends it to that's what I'm saying. Hey,
it vanishes.
Expect this.
All right. As the sun rises, 2 sizable pieces of livestock to be placed at the boundaries of the usual hunting site. If those are there, and it is taken without any sort of aggression, we'll take that as a sign that you are being honest, and we shan't bother you or your people any further.
I bow deeply, and when I do, it goes...
For a moment, you think you hear a slight, uncontrollable chuckle from the gnome.
I guess as that's going on, so because we're gonna head back right now to seal this up, right? Then I'll do my teleportation circle.
Where are we going?
Which is closer to the northeast? The Lyceum
Wait,
or...
what's going on? Where are you going? Where are you taking us?
Was it to the north side of it? That'd be
We
Lyceum.
could fly back pretty fast. Couldn't we?
Isn't it a fly spell? You can take it right back.
Yeah, we can just fly back.
Okay.
Your call. Teleportation takes circle to your keep if you
Before
want.
he leaves. Well, wait, we can't go
We
back.
gotta go back to the
We gotta
farmers.
farm.
Yeah,
Gotta go to the
that's
farmers. We gotta
Okay,
buy some
so-
cows off them. We fly back.
And I tell him, if you're up that
I
way,
will say I'm pretty harsh on Sam a lot of the time. I think that's a great example of comedic of a character that jokes, or even a player that jokes, without it being a joke at the sake of the character's like verisimilitude, you know, like at the expense of it feeling real, like shitting on the bed. I think that was a delightful joke. And I think that Grog, you know, he's the king of comedic timing. I agree that his comedic timing is stellar. But that seemed a lot like a joke that Grog would make, which I think is generally my standard currently for CR on like a good, funny character that does not make the character itself a joke, which I think a lot of the time Scanlan falls into. Man, talk about over-explaining and beating a dead horse. Funny joke again. Sometimes you just gotta shit the bed. Your character should try it next time you play D&D. I've never made a character that would shit on the bed. I'm just gonna put that out there. I've never made a character that would just shit on the bed. Just gonna. It would, every one of my party members would be like, what the Jack, are you having a stroke? What? Dude, is something going on at home, man? What are you doing?
there's a druidic tribe. A little village called Pyra. They're a fire Ashari. You can find their headmaster, Serkonis. He's a friend. You might find your people there. Who knows? Maybe friends will do you good.
Shara, you say? So, my dealings with them have been mixed. Perhaps I'll
No,
keep my
never
distance.
mind.
Can I look around before we go? Can I just grab a mission? Can I see if there's any feathers dropped from the giant bird creature?
They're a handful, right?
Can I grab a few of them?
As you go and reach up, slaps you across the knuckles.
Can I have a feather that he dropped?
Why?
Because they're big and they're fluffy.
Because they're beautiful.
Yes.
You have to admit they're beautiful.
Elves.
I know it.
Thank you.
You take 3 rock feathers.
Rock feathers.
Looting sounds.
Yeah, like they're almost a boat size.
Okay, I'll take rock feathers.
I have them.
Okay.
Rock feathers.
You guys managed to get 1 for you and 3 for you guys. Before he's like, now go, now!
Okay.
My patience wears thin.
Bye.
Through with talking words.
Sorry. I walk out from behind him and just walk past. Sorry about that.
Alright, I'll burn another 5th level and then fly us all out.
It is in her bones.
You guys coast back to the north side of Iman. You go to the door where the Klaus family is, and you speak with them for a while, and you manage to convince them of the situation and what seems to be a mutually positive circumstance. They agree it's better to lose 2 cows than
I pay them
continue.
for their 2 cows.
Do you? Okay.
Being nice, man.
Yeah. How much you get them?
5 gold.
Yeah, how much are cows usually worth?
You've never purchased a cow, so you don't know.
Yes, I have. I purchased Dork the ox.
Ox is not a cow.
Shit.
How much did
How
we
much
buy
do your
Dorky
cows
Ox?
normally cost, darling?
This is a good question. I've not had to look up the cost of a cow before.
1 awesome diamond.
Every
each.
Yeah, right.
10 gold piece? Because I get like meat. all kinds of
I
things.
would put it.
Man, I don't want a bird.
I put it at about maybe 40 gold each.
That's way more than I expected.
It's fine, it's fine.
Because they can be used for
Right,
meat, they can be used for milk, you know.
40 gold each to make up for the loss of your cows.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you helping with this. And you promised this will.
Yes, just put them out in the open field.
We'll take them.
Oh, we'll
on
take
the edge
them?
of the
Yeah, we'll
hunting
put them out
grounds.
there.
We'll
Just take
put
them.
Okay, we'll take care of it.
Yes.
You guys take 2 of the cows, you bring them to the outskirts. You with rope tied around their neck, you essentially hitching post them to the outside of this kind of open area, about 20-30 feet from the actual holding pen. A few hours go by and the sun slowly begins to rise.
Along with some other food, right? Some other
Hey,
food, yeah.
like some other feed things around there. Eventually, the sun begins to rise across the eastern and northeastern sky as it crests. You can see some of the farmers come out, kind of anxiously watching from their homes. And you see different families now kind of gathering. You see the wings beating in the air, and it swoops down and grabs 2 of them. And you can see some of the families like gasp and like rush inside, and some are just amazed to see this even happen. It takes the 2, carries up, and heads out over the Osmit Sea, passing to the northwest side And over the next 30 or so minutes,
They
slowly
traded
disappears
gold
into
for
the horizon until it's no longer
reputation,
It's not right.
Robin.
Can I make a beer check?
visible.
2, 0.
That beginnings of the other side of your beer slowly begins to set in.
What happens to the existing side?
The existing side has kind of rounded itself off to a nice beer. Like it's pretty much where it's going to be on that
No,
side.
not worth
the other
it at
side's
all.
just now starting to finally catch up. And that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
On a positive beer check. Oh man.
Net loss. Hey man, that's what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about the detriments of having a stronghold, having a keep, all that shit, that's the risk. You get put into situations where you might have to take a little bit of a gold hit. That's the cost of having a keep, dude. Let's see. Post-session Critmas. Oh, it starts at 4:01. Normal post-session cooldown.
Where did that go? That was
a crazy night.
That was it.
That's insane.
Perspiration was happening.
Yeah, it was.
So
I gave you my hand.
My hand!
Nope.
battle maps that never get used.
Possible Big Bird friend. That's true.
Oh, look at us
That's a
not
pretty
fighting
one,
things.
too.
That's really beautiful.
That's a
now.
great
It
map.
would have been really bad too.
For
I'm
us?
glad we didn't fight.
Bad for us?
Well, just imagine a giant bird that grabs you and then drops you off the side of a mountain.
Oh,
Yeah, cool.
Would have been an
Cool.
interesting fight.
opportunity.
Would have been an interesting fight. Well, cool. That concludes a very unique Percy Bottle episode of Critical Role.
Squadron of cows.
Squadron of Flying Midnight Cows.
Consequences and cows.
The weirdest
And
things that
free
have happened.
produce, that
no,
is
it's in weird.
true.
That's pretty up there. That's in the
That
top
is
5
true.
weird things that's happened in D&D for me.
Fighting for motion.
Oh.
Oh no.
Awesome. So this is. Oh, it was what? Awesome.
And so this is Christmas.
We're at 1.25.
Alright, guys, so we're going to go through these donations for Extra Life really quick, and then we'll be taking a very short break.
And that is that. So after this is the Extra Life. So we will be and that will be not on Monday. No stream on Monday. Family's in town. It will be on it'll be on Wednesday. Wednesday next week is the Extra Life stream. I mean, I'm not doing Extra Life, but it'll be the Critical Trolls. And then episode 27 is on 2 Mondays from now. I'll have the timestamps ready for you before Wednesday. Thank you so much, SSH. I really appreciate it. I mean, if we don't have timestamps, I'll be fine. Like the stream will be good. I will not. I'm not going to cancel stream if I don't have my timestamps. But it will be faster and smoother. So I really appreciate it. And the total session time for Crit Trolls is 2:48. Oh, sick. So that should be very easy. Although I know that there are other people in it. It's a one shot. I'll probably still have quite a bit to talk about, so I'm glad it's shorter. But sick. Okay. So yeah, that'll be Critical Trolls. We'll do that. In the meantime, so I know that I kind of announced like maybe potentially beta stuff in December. Probably not anymore, only because there's a bit of scope creep. So I don't think I may or may not have a beta ready in December, but I think that launch date for the new year still the same. So get excited, get ready for that. And I'm not going to leak any more about it. Other than other than the stuff I've already leaked. But so that'll be cool. Also, if you liked Behind the Screens with Ryan, I'm currently talking to some other people about some more Behind the Screens. I already have one scheduled, I think, tentatively. I don't want to announce it yet because the date may change, but that is coming up very soon. We're going to be talking about... Oh, I don't want to tell you. I'm zipping my lip. I'm keeping it quiet. And then no one forget, if you are reading along with book club, first book club will be on Sunday the 26th. So I will remind everyone again at Critical Trolls, but I know that everyone might not watch Critical Trolls. So if you're in book club, November 26th, Sunday, 2 Sundays from now. 2 Sundays from now, so you have plenty of time. And that will be it. I'm excited to get back to the main arc. Bottle episode was... I'll give my full opinion on the bottle episode afterwards, but I think it was interesting. I think it did some stuff to kind of comment on their place in the world and like what sort of challenges they will face in the future. Like they're not just having to survive anymore. They are now having to make more like complicated and complex decisions. I think that was really cool. Especially after they've had this whole Briarwood thing of like getting kind of slapped for their murder hobo tendencies. Putting them in this directly afterwards is a very nice kind of moral arc to take them on. So I liked that. And yeah, I'll give a more detailed opinion next one. But overall, good episode. And flying cows will always be in our hearts. And that'll do it for tonight. Thank you all for joining. I'm not going to do the comment thing anymore because no one comments, but that's fair. I get it. So I'm not going to do the comment thing anymore. But actually, a few of you have commented. I appreciate you greatly, but it is not a big thing. So I'm not going to do it anymore. But like and subscribe. It really does help the channel and the videos. Good night, SSH. Night, John. Night, everybody. I'll see y'all later. Bye.